Welcome to the Fantasy Audiobook. Naruto. Super System World Picking Attributes. Chapter 61. Zubai, I want to. You want to separate the tail beasts, and then let everyone have a certain strength to manage the world together. Shubai also said directly. How do you know? Both Zuma and Madara were surprised. You know, this matter was originally discussed between the pillars, but there is no result yet, and it is impossible for news to flow out. With your personality, how can you dominate all the tail beasts? Also, the ninjas from all major countries have been invited by you. Apart from this, I can't think of anything else. By the way, just ask my own opinion, that is not to agree. Shubai also said directly. Actually, my answer is the same as Shubai. We went to capture the tail beasts back, but not to work for them. You want to achieve peace, I know, but this method is not working at all. Now there are two of us. After they get the tail beast, maybe they won't have any problems. But we will always die one day. Who will suppress these tail beasts at that time? Madara also said slowly. Masha, Zubai, the three of us created Konoha together. Now, our village can be said to be the most powerful. In terms of top strength, we have 5 super patriarchs. It is the existence of the shadow class. I, Madara, Zubai, Hyuga Tenin, Fuma. The existence of the patriarch class is countless. After the establishment of the academy, our new generation will definitely become stronger. But have you thought about it? If we monopolize the 9 big-tailed beasts now, we can control it now, what about in the future? Moreover, the people in the village will become blind and arrogant because of these. Only constant motivation is the best whetstone, isn't it? Zhu Jian also explained the reason why he wanted to distribute the tail beast. After hearing the words between the pillars, Shubai was also silent. It seems that this is really the case. If a force loses its motivation to move forward, it will definitely disappear under the baptism of time. Moreover, if only relying on the seal of the Whirlpool clan to control the tail beast, it would not achieve the purpose of using the tail beast. Once there are no spots and inter-column suppression, problems can easily occur. Well, your mouth is really powerful. Shubai also said directly. I thought you would hold on for a while, but in the end, just like me, succumb to this ultimate profound meaning. Madara also said with a smile. It's okay for them, what's the price? Between the pillars, you don't want to give it to them for free, do you? Shubai also said directly. Ah, these are originally within their sphere of influence. There is no room for negotiation, there must be a price. Madara, what do you think? Yes, this is not negotiable. But if we, then, so we should. Facing the mouth between the pillars, Madara and Shubai also turned a deaf ear and said nothing. You two, okay, I know what you said, but this is really not discussed. Now, what we want to discuss is how to charge the fee. After all, catching the tail beast can be regarded as an SS-level task. And Yukiyi's Hokage spot, the police minister's pillars and the elder Shubai took action together. This price can't be taken carelessly. Otherwise, our mission system will collapse in the future. This head cannot be opened. Shubai he also interrupted the words between the pillars and said directly. Hearing Shubai's direct use of the village system to speak, there was no way between the pillars for a while. In the end, the 3 people discussed and decided that the price was 100,000 taels, and the money would increase according to the increase in the mantissa. There is also 100 caddies of chakra metal attached. After making the decision, Shubai and the others also left here directly. After all, it was already noon, they still had to dare to go to Konoha Square as soon as possible. A few minutes later, the 3 also appeared on the central high platform of the square and sat down directly. Okay. Now everyone is here, then the wedding begins. This time, Jian volunteered to be the MC of ceremonies. After hearing the words of the door, all the villagers called out in excitement. This is the first major event since Konoha was founded. The marriage of Naruto and the ninja families and ninja villages of various countries all came here to participate, which is enough to see the strength of Konoha. This makes it an honor to be a member of Konoha. After all, walking on the street, others will see you with Konoha's ninja logo, and their faces will show envy. And now the 9 big-tailed beasts are under the Hokage cliff behind, and they haven't deliberately hid them. Even in the face of so many ninjas, Konoha still has this confidence, and this is where they are powerful. Okay, now there are two couples of newcomers. Jian also shouted loudly. Shubai and Ban also appeared on the high platform instantly. Uchiha Kuna and Uchiha Kina, also wearing wedding dresses, slowly appeared next to Madara. But after a while, Minako still didn't show up. It seems that our bride is still a bit shy. Let's greet our bride with enthusiastic cheers. Seeing that Minako hadn't appeared yet, she shouted again. Bride, bride. But after waiting for a full 5 minutes, Minako still did not appear. Fat, go take a look. Shubai was a little confused at this time, so he directly called Uchiha Natsumi to take a look. You know, it should be your own mother with Ozawa Minako now. And they are in the back room, they should come out soon after hearing it. Now neither of them showed up, which also made Shubai a little worried. If something really went wrong, it wouldn't be right for the three of them to discover it. But now, neither he nor Madara and Zuma felt that something was wrong. Second brother, sister-in-law and aunt are not there. Soon Uchiha Natsumi also appeared next to Shubai and said anxiously. What? After hearing these words, Shubai's face became a little unnatural. It seems that our bride wants to play hide and seek with the groom. Now, let our groom Uchiha go and find his bride for nothing. Upon seeing this, he said directly. At this time, you can't let others know what happened. So Chinsho Janma also resolved the current embarrassment and doubts in this way. Shubai's face also showed a smile after hearing the words of Phaejian. Everyone eat and drink first, and I will bring my bride to come here to toast and apologize for everyone. After Shubai finished speaking, the instant spell disappeared. What's wrong? Has something happened? At this time, Zujian also followed Shubai, leaving only one Mudun clone in the square. Minako and my mother are gone. Shubai also said angrily. Minako has been following herself for almost 5 years, and her mother is also very kind to him. Now the two women who were family members to him are gone, and they are still on such occasions. This makes Shubai also very angry. If he catches someone who is playing a ghost, it is estimated that Shubai will run away. It's gone. No, the sister-in-law and aunt shouldn't leave Konoha at this time. Zujian also said directly. In fact, Shubai knew it too, because it was Hokage's big wedding, and this time he invited so many people. Therefore, Konoha's guard work is unprecedentedly powerful. But under these circumstances, his bride and mother disappeared. This is what Shubai is most worried about. If someone can take away two people directly without disturbing everyone, then the strength of this person, you can imagine how powerful it is. Even if it was any one of the three of them between the pillars, they would not take them away under such circumstances. Soon, they also came to Minako's room together. Everything here is neatly arranged, without a trace of clutter. In other words, there has been no fighting here. After all, Minako and her mother are not good at fighting, which means that if they hadn't left by themselves, the person who appeared should have knocked them out in the first place. Between the pillars, give me your Shanshu chakra, Shubai said, and instantly opened his own riding wheel and fairy mode. Although there are many Shanshu chakras in Shubai's body now, it is really inferior to Zujian in terms of quality. Got it, fairy mode. Soon, Shubai scanned the house. But after reading it, there was no discovery at all. Between the pillars, do you feel anything? Well, it's too clean. Even if there is no fighting here, it won't be like this. Zhu Jian said in confusion. This is also Shubai's doubts. When he was scanning, he found a major problem. That's me, I didn't even see any dust. Even when I just came in, there was no dust left behind. In other words, this is not. Quick, quit. Shubai suddenly thought of a terrible thing and said loudly. After hearing Shubai's words, he just stepped back without asking. The two also left the house in an instant. The moment the two left the house, the original house also changed into a weird beast. This is, Zujian said with some doubts looking at the creature in front of him. This is the sacred beast in charge of the wind, Shubai said directly as he looked at the creature in front of him. Although Shubai didn't know him, some objects fell on the ground the moment they came out. What these items showed was the art of change, and the art of assimilation. And Shubai knows that this is in mythology, the beast in charge of the wind. Yiki. After hearing Shubai's words, Zujian also frowned. At this moment, a guy in a robe appeared on top of Yankee's head. Unexpectedly, someone here knows Yanchi. It seems that you are not a simple person. The man also said directly after he appeared. What about my wife and my mother? Shubai's voice was already a little chilly. Shubai, who saw this scene, also knew that his mother and lover should have been taken away by this guy. Well, what are you looking for me for? I just took my pet out for a walk, and I am not your bodyguard. The man also said with a look of movement. After hearing the man's words, Shubai also knew that this guy was the culprit of this incident. If you don't say anything, I will use force to let you say it. After Shubai finished speaking, he also directly used the shadow clone technique. On the other side of the pillars, he also released his wooden escape without hesitation. Although their fighting here will affect the building, there is no one here, so the space between the pillars is also released directly. After all, even the pillars were not sure if he wanted to lead this mysterious guy out to fight. Because, in this guy, there is a disgusting breath. Force. I'm sorry, we don't advocate force. I am a businessman, I just want to come and make a deal with you. The man waved his hand and said indifferently. Faced with two existences with powerful Shanshu chakras, the man's face didn't panic at all. What deal? For the lives of your mother and wife, exchange one thing in your hand. The man also said again. What? Muramasa. The man also said again. This person is Beidou, and the village in Shubai's hands is his target. Muramasa. Shubai was also a little confused after hearing Beidou's words. I used Muramasa once during the test. It can be said that I have never used it in combat at all. How did this guy know that he has Muramasa here? The most important thing is, does Muramasa have any special effects? Why is such a powerful guy coming to do this specially for it? Yes, I don't think you will tell me you don't know, do you? Beidou still smiled. Yes, but I have already thrown it away. You can search me at will, or search the entire Konoha. That's just a sharp sword. Now we have a lot of chakra metal, for me said, this is simply tasteless. Shubai also said directly. After hearing what Shubai said, Beidou was also a little confused. Where did you drop it? Where is it? There was a black whirlpool next to me at that time, I just threw it in. Just after I threw it in, the whirlpool disappeared. So, I don't know. Shubai said again. After hearing Shubai's words, the doubt and anger on the man's face became more obvious. You kid, do you know what you did? For the first time, there was a strong mood swing on Beidou's face. Yiki, destroy this place for me. As Beidou said, he also spoke directly to the Yayu under him. I see, leave the demolition work to me. After Ziki finished speaking, countless wind blades appeared around him instantly. In front of these wind blades, the wooden escape between the pillars is almost like a bubble, all disappeared. Shubai, I will resist this guy. Mu Dun True Wood Dragon Technique. After Zhu Jian finished speaking, he summoned his own wooden dragon, and then attacked the Yayu. And Shubai also transported all the fairy chakras on his body, directly opening a complete fairy form. No matter who you are, stay here today. After Shubai finished speaking, he quickly attacked Beidou. Your ninjutsu is the lowest level of energy attack for me, and it won't hurt me a little bit. Really, I didn't even figure out the origin of the attributes, so I knew that I would come up with some fancy names. Wind Magic Wind Spirit Bodyguard. A wind barrier also appeared directly on Beidou's body. Shanfa Spiral Pill. At this time, Shubai had already mastered the Spiral Pill. The 1000-point talent is not useless. Shubai's improvement during this period is not small. Is it also wind? Really, playing wind in front of me? After seeing Shubai's attack, Beidou did not see it at all. Boom! In the next moment, Shubai's attack also fell on Beidou. A strong impact came in an instant. The barrier that was originally beside Beidou was quickly absorbed by the power of the spiral pill, and then a larger spiral pill was formed, which quickly attacked Beidou's body. What? The Beidou who saw this scene was also a little surprised. This guy's ninjutsu can actually break his passport. And at this time Beidou also discovered that the chakra used by this guy is different from other people's. It seems to be similar to more advanced energy, which I have never seen before. Wind Skill Towing Transfer. Beidou's hand also changed, and then immediately disappeared in front of Shubai in the next moment. Boom! Countless smoke and dust flew up directly. Originally there were some buildings here, but they also turned into a huge pit. Not bad, I am qualified to fight against me. Beidou raised his 2 hands, and 7 rotating stars appeared on them. 7 stars. Beidou fight. Just after Beidou uttered these 5 words, some changes occurred in his body. The original long gown also disappeared completely, turned into a strip of cloth, floating behind him. Inside, there is a black tights. Although Shubai wanted to complain about why he had to burst his shirt when transforming, Shubai was not in such a good mood now. When this guy became like this, his breath was more than doubled. Okay, now I'll give you another chance to hand over Muramasa. Our deal can still be reached. Beidou also said again. Let me see my relatives first. Shubai also put away his breath at this time, and said slowly. This guy's abilities have never been seen before. You must know that his spiral pill was only a few centimeters away from Beidou. At this moment, this guy disappeared in an instant. The most important thing is that after this guy disappeared, his breath disappeared completely. Helix Maru is not so easy to hide. It was originally the qualitative change of the wind attribute, and then added that Shubai had just injected the Shanshu chakra, and even the surrounding space could be affected. Even if it is between the pillars or the Madara, they can't evade through the instantaneous spell and the double spell. But this guy left in an instant. Coupled with the feeling he gave Shubai after he transformed, that powerful breath even made him feel a little trembling. It seems that you just lied to me. But so, Shang Dao, Gui Daoer. Come back, Shiji. Beidou also said with a smile. Originally thought Shubai had thrown Cao Nong's sword village into a place resembling a spatial whirlpool. If that was the case, they would spend more time to find it again. Therefore, he was so angry just now. But now listening to Shubai's words, it shouldn't be lost. After knowing this, Beidou also recovered his indifferentness again. Beidou, don't you kill them? Ziqian asked directly after returning to Beidou's side. Well, if you want to eat something, let's change the place. Take the 2 out first. Beidou also said directly. Cut, these 2 guys look delicious. Ang. After Yu Qi made a dissatisfaction, he opened his big mouth instantly and bit one side. The next moment, a horrible scene appeared. The space here was bitten out in an instant, and then 2 people also appeared in it. Well, people are here. The village is giving it to me, and they are giving it to you. Beidou said again. Muramasa. Shubai also stretched out his hand, and Kuramasa appeared in his hand. Sure enough, it really is my Kuramasa. This breath is really nostalgic. After seeing Muramasa, Beidou also showed a smile on his face. Release them, you said, Shang Dao, Gui Daoer. I don't trust you much. Shubai also said again. Beidou is not interested in other people, he only needs to have a village. The next moment, Ziki also stretched out his hand and threw the 2 in front of Shubai. Then, the space crack disappeared directly. Mother, Minako. Shubai caught the 2 of them and shouted with concern. However, both of them are now in a coma, so Shubai also directly handed them to Zujian. Muramasa, give it to me. Beidou said calmly. Shubai didn't say anything, and directly threw Kunjung to Beidou, and then looked at Beidou with a guard. Okay, I'm not interested in you yet. By the way, let me give you a message. I can come in this time, but I will come with your wife. After Beidou finished speaking, he and Ziki were both straightforward. Disappeared. After the 2 disappeared, Shubai's face also showed a look of doubt. If you really came with Minako, why would Minako do this? It's just that Minako is still in a coma, so Shubai didn't ask anything. After Beidou disappeared, a scene of horror also appeared in front of them. That is, all the way to the village wall, they all disappeared directly. In other words, the several family residences next to each other here have all become flat ground. If it weren't because today is the day of Hokage's wedding, I don't know how many people will disappear here because of this guy's actions. Zubai, now, you go back, I am here to take care of my mother and Minako. Shubai also said directly. After hearing Shubai's words, the pillar room also left directly. I should let Madara know what happened here. Although I don't know why this battle happened here, no one has come, but the current situation is not a good thing. After leaving between the pillars, Shubai also led the 2 into the wooden house made when the pillars left. After half an hour, the two woke up slowly. Mother, Minako, are you two okay? Shubai asked with concern when seeing the two of them wake up. Why are we here? Uchiha Rongrong said blankly after hearing Shubai's words. It's me, it's all because of me. Minako, who woke up, also said with a look of guilt. After hearing what Minako said, the faces of the two also showed doubts. Although Hokuto said just now that he could come in because of Minako. However, Shubai did not believe it at all. But now that Minako herself said so, Shubai was also a little confused. It's them, come back to find me. Minako's face also showed an expression of pain. The patriarchs came, and they asked me to bring someone over, saying that I must have a family member when I get married. I didn't notice it at the time and didn't tell you. Otherwise there would be no such thing. Now, Minako said with a reproachful face. No, I don't blame you for this, these are all because of them. Okay, don't think about anything. Now, let's get married in front of my mother. Although it is a little hasty, are you willing to marry me? Shubai heard after Minako's words, a gentle expression appeared on her face. As long as Minako wasn't involved in this matter, he wouldn't blame her. Okay, isn't it all right now? I like you very much, so don't take these unhappiness to heart. Uchiha Yongyang also stretched out his hand to hold Minako and said slowly. After hearing Uchiha's words, Minako hugged her and started sobbing. I'm sorry. I do. After hearing what Minako said, Shubai's face also showed a smile. Minako, this is a ring I made myself. Shubai said, and also took out the ring and put it on Minako. In the future, you will be my wife. Remember, no matter what you encounter, I will do it for you. Shelter from the wind and rain. So, what else will happen in the future, be sure to tell me. Well, I know Shanggong. Minako is no longer called Master Shubai, but is called Shanggong. After dealing with things here, Shubai also arranged his clothes and Minako's clothes. Let's go, let's accept everyone's blessings. Shubai said, and also left here with Minako and his mother. Soon, the three also came to the square together. At this time, Madara was drinking with everyone. After Shubai came, he also directly joined the ranks of pushing the cup and changing the cup. As for Minako, it was with Zuna, Zukoto and the others standing together and talking. 3 hours later, the banquet was also over. Everyone, just today, our Hokage-sama made a decision. That is, our Konoha-tailed beasts, except for the 9 tails, can be bought and sold. Now, under the Hokage cliff behind, we caught it. Tailed beasts. There are prices below, so everyone can see for yourself. According to your own strength, you can buy the tailed beasts you need. Shujian also said loudly. After hearing the words of Fionjian, everyone was initially a little drunk, but also instantly sobered up. You know, when Konoha went to catch the tail beast, they all knew it, and more or less conflicts occurred. But now, Konoha actually sold the tail beast. In other words, they can exchange resources for tail beasts. You know, the tail beast is like a nuclear bomb. With this, the safety of the village or family can be guaranteed. Therefore, everyone followed directly to see the tail beast. Shubai and Maiden, who were originally the protagonists, were also directly left out. Shubai and Ban also smiled at each other, and followed with the 3 girls. These tail beasts have always been sealed here. Originally, at the beginning, they would struggle to separate. But this time passed, and they were all lying there, exhausted. Except for Kyubi, after being arrested and returning, he has been indifferent except sleeping there. Other tailed beasts need some specific attributes, chakras, and the 9 tails absorb various negative energies. Therefore, he doesn't care where he is. Although a little aggrieved, he did not act like other tail beasts. After all, if you want to escape here, you need to keep your strength. Okay, these tail beasts are here now. There are price tags on them. If 2 or more forces have chosen the same tail beast, you will bid with each other, and the one with the higher price will get the price. Briefly explain the rules. Originally, it was restricted that one force could only purchase 1 tail beast, but Shubai thought about it for a while, then the tail beast would not get the best use at all. So I also came up with this method. Just like an auction, the above listed price is just a reserve price. Of course, the reserve price is a bit high. I want Yao, whoever wants to bid with me, just come. At this moment, I first stood up and walked in front of Yao and said directly. Originally, Union Village was the second village to be established after Konoha. At the same time, their strength is also very strong. Therefore, when I said these words, everyone was silent. After all, let's not talk about the price of Yao. If you participate in the bidding, it is estimated that your financial resources are still not as good as Union Village. At that time, not only will Yao be unable to obtain it, but even Union Village will be offended because of this. So for a while, no one came out to bid. Well, since there is no bidding, Yao will belong to Union Village. Do you need to arrange a sealed ninja to escort you with you? Phaejian also walked to Ai's front and said directly. No, please lift the seal of Lord Bull and Ghost. I also said directly. After hearing Ai's words, there was also a ninja next to Phaejian, who walked directly in front of Yao and reached out to release the sealing technique. Mu, actually dare to seal this uncle, I. Little octopus, do you want to be beaten again? At this moment, Uchiha Madara and Shubai also walked over. After hearing Madara's words, Yao instantly froze. Let's not say that I am not in a perfect state now, even if it is not this guy's opponent. Therefore, the person who knows the current affairs is a good man, and tolerates the calm for a while. I'm here. After Yao finished speaking, he plunged into Ai's body. Originally, Yao and I had a very good relationship, because this year's ratio conflicted with Yao's attributes, so Yao also chose Ai as his personal strength. It's really interesting. No matter how many times I watch it, I find it very interesting. Shubai slowly said as he watched Yao disappear into Ai's body. After fusing the 8 tails, Ai's aura was obviously more than doubled. After seeing the benefits of the tail beast fusion, everyone's eyes were a little fiery looking at the remaining tail beasts in front of them. Well, everyone has seen it, and we will definitely respect your request. Continue now. After seeing everyone's eyes attracted by Ai, he also said loudly. We want Nanao Shigeki. At this moment, a familiar appearance appeared in Shubai's sight. He has short blue hair and a healthy, wheat-colored skin. Is this Fu? 700,000 taels, plus 100 caddies of chakra metal. Is there any further bidding? Jian also said directly. Well, I want to exchange it for something special. If it's convenient, can you let me chat with your person in charge alone? At this time, the woman also said again. No, okay, I'm the person in charge, come and talk to me. Minister Phaejian, you continue. At this moment, Shubai also walked out directly, and said directly. After hearing what Shubai said, he didn't continue to say anything. Skip the 7 tails directly and continue to sell other tail beasts. And Shubai also led the woman directly into a room, and by the way put down a sealing technique. Okay, I have something to say, now I can say it directly. Don't worry that someone will hear you, I have already laid a sealed enchantment. Shubai also said slowly. We have no money, so. Takinokuni, right, I know, you have never liked to deal with foreign countries, so you can't spend so much money, I understand. I just want to know, what are you going to trade? Shubai also said directly. Chakra jade and chakra metal. The woman also said directly. Chakryu. Shubai was also surprised when he heard the woman's words. I have never heard of this thing. Could it be said, what new material is it? Yes. Introduce myself. My name is Ling, I am Takikage from Takigakura village now. This chakra jade can increase our speed when consolidating chakras. When attacking, it can also double our input chakra. Ling also said directly. After hearing Ling's words, Shubai's face also showed a look of surprise. Because he remembered that the setting of this world was that the tree of gods brought chakra. In other words, the chakras here are all foreign. But why is there such a thing? This thing is like something in the fantasy world. Thinking of this, Shubai couldn't help being a little yelling. Could it be that oneself can still become a celestial being? Got it, what about the price ratio? 10 caddies of chakra jade is equal to 10,000 taels. We provide 700 caddies of chakra jade and 100 caddies of chakra metal in exchange for 7 taels. Ling also directly said his quotation. After hearing Ling's offer, Shubai was a little confused. If this thing is really like Ling said, how can it be so cheap? Could it be that there are any restrictions on the use of this chakra jade? I accept the price, but I hope you can tell me all the information. Otherwise, even if you have 7 tails, I can destroy it with just one hand. Shu Bai also revealed his breath and said directly. Ling was also surprised when he heard Shu Bai's words. The breath of the man in front of him was terrifying. There is one more thing, this thing is very heavy. The size of a finger is 100 caddies. Ling also said again. After hearing Ling's words, Shu Bai was also relieved. No wonder it is so cheap, this is the price of 7 small stones. So, I know, okay, I can promise you. But I have a request. Shu Bai also said directly. What's the requirement? Even if you want me, I am willing. Ling also said a little shyly. I'm just newly married. I don't have this idea. I have to leave my energy to my wife. My request is that your chakra jade is all at the price of 1200 kilograms. We want all of them. Acquisition, Shu Bai also said directly. After hearing Shu Bai's words, Ling also cast aside the embarrassment just now and fell into contemplation. Originally, her quotation was moisturized. Usually, she can't sell this at such a high price. Moreover, they cannot sell directly because they are afraid of being targeted by other forces. This is also the reason why Takazuki Congress shuts down the country, and Chakryu's discovery is not allowed to be known to any outsider. Otherwise, the country may be destroyed in minutes. Had it not been for Konoha, it is estimated that Ling would not have said such a request. After all, with Konoha's power, these things are simply insignificant. But now the person in charge of Konoha made this request, and Ling suddenly thought of a possibility. Yes, and we want to be Konoha's partners, I don't know. Welcome. It is the partner's responsibility to keep watch and help each other. So what kind of help can you give us? Shu Bai said directly. After hearing Shu Bai's words, Ling found that no matter what he said or thought, he would be led away by the man in front of him. Originally wanted to obtain a strong ally through trading, but now it is back to the original situation. A chakra jade mine. Ling gritted his teeth and said directly. Deal. Okay, wait here, I'll bring Naneo for you. After Shu Bai finished speaking, he also lifted the enchantment and left the room. After coming outside, Shu Bai also set a barrier again. Then, a momentary body disappeared outside the house. Ban, come here, let's whisper. Shu Bai said with a smile when he came to the two of them. After hearing Shu Bai's words, the faces of the two also showed black lines. This guy, feel like there is a conspiracy. What's the matter, do you still want to whisper? Zujian also said with a puzzled look. Good thing, didn't I go to see the woman from Takian village just now? I told you, it's great, you will definitely be happy too. Go, let's go over. I have set a barrier, no outside I will hear the sound inside. Shu Bai said, also preparing to go there. Hey, why don't you move? After Shu Bai walked a few steps, he found that Madara and Zujian hadn't moved, but looked at himself with a strange expression. Therefore, I asked slowly. Zubai, you kid didn't tell us to go there, right? Ban said with some difficulty. What's that? What's that? Shu Bai was also puzzled. If it wasn't for something that couldn't be said here, he would have yelled out happily. But looking at the appearance of these two people, it seems that they have misunderstood something. Say it quickly, you are really anxious to death by both of you. Shu Bai also said again. It's. What are you two thinking? I'm talking about trading, Naneo's transaction. By the way, I almost forgot Naneo. Shu Bai said, walking directly to Naneo's side, dragging him away. Seeing Shu Bai's movements, Madara and Zuma glanced at each other, and followed them in embarrassment. After arriving in the house, Shu Bai also explained the situation to the two of them. Okay, this is the situation now. Naneo, follow Hyogo. I remember that there seems to be a sea of flowers in Taki no Kuni, which should be your favorite place. Madara, among the three of us, who will arrange this one? What? Shu Bai asked again. Let me go, both of you are just married, you can't leave your wife and leave. I will come back before Mito has a baby, is that okay? Zuma also volunteered. You'd better accompany Mito, I'll go. I can also take Minako out for a honeymoon. Madara is Hokage, and you have to stay. So, I'm the most suitable. Shu Bai also said directly. Although Madara wanted to see it too, he couldn't leave his identity for too long, so he also gave up. After the three of them discussed it, Shubai was still going. As for Ling, she is very happy. After all, her strength is not very strong yet, maybe she will encounter some powerful enemies on the road. With Shubai, I feel a lot of peace of mind. Finally, the release of the tail beast is also complete. Except for Yao, they are all sold at a price higher than the original price. After they obtained the tail beast, they also quickly contacted their forces and arranged for someone to escort the tail beast. 5 days later, all the forces left here. Minako, we are leaving today, Shubai said slowly while holding Minako in his arms. Yeah, Minako was also a little shy. Okay, I'll go and prepare things first. You take a break, after all, you were too tired last night, Shubai said with a smirk. I'll dress my husband. Seeing Shubai got up, Minako also followed, picked up Shubai's clothes and put them on for him. Seeing a graceful Minako, Shubai is also beastly again. As a result, it was originally planned to leave in the morning, but did not leave until the afternoon. It feels good to have a mount. If it hadn't already sold you, I really want you to be my mount. At this time, the three of them were sitting on Nanao Shigeki, and Shubai also had a face. Said with satisfaction. You know, Shubai in his previous life hadn't even boarded a plane. Now I am really a little happy with Zongming. Elder Zubai, Shijeming is a very gentle tail beast. It is not good at fighting at all. Therefore, only in our country of Taki can I live freely. This is why I must re-explain it. At my grandfather's, in the first generation, Chongming was the beast of our Taki no country. Ling also told Shubai many things about Chongming. 3 days later, they also left the scope of the country of fire. Hey, I said, this road will definitely not be so boring. Shubai, who was taking a nap after closing the curtain, also opened his eyes and said playfully. After speaking, Shubai also stretched out his hand and patted Chongming under him. At this time, Zongming also felt the existence of those people. You know, it's an insect, and its perception is no lower than Shubai. After Shubai signaled, Zongming also stopped directly. What's the matter with Elder Shubai? Shigeki stopped, and said with a puzzled look. It's okay, some friends came here and want to welcome us. Shubai also said with a smile. Ling was even more puzzled when he heard Shubai's words. Although he is the head of the family, he is also the Takikage of Takigakura. But his perception is really not good, so after hearing what Shubai said, he didn't know what happened. Zongming, you protect my wife and Ling. After Shubai finished speaking, he jumped off Chongming instantly. Although it is hundreds of meters high, it is not a problem for Shubai. Uchiha is vain, you are really arrogant. In the air, I want to see how you can dodge. At this moment, a group of people appeared below, Water Escape Water Dragon Diamond. Before the eastern sunset fell on the ground, huge water dragons rotated and attacked Shubai. Just say it feels so familiar, so it was you. However, you are a little miscalculated when you come to me now. Bing done chilling invasion. After Shubai finished speaking, he also directly raised his hand, releasing the only boundary of blood inheritance he had now. You know, the Shuiwu clan stayed in the Uchiha clan for a long time, so Shubai also mastered this blood inheritance boundary. Bing done, you guy can actually get their blood. However, the temperature here is very high. The Bing done you released will directly become the medium of our water done. I want to see, how do you break the game today? The visitor was the Teodi clan that I met last time in Shuiwu clan. Although I don't know why they appeared here, since they have already attacked him, then he doesn't need to keep his hands. Hey, it can indeed become your medium. But, who told you that this is for you? Lei Dun Qian Lei. After Shubai finished speaking, he also pressed his hand to the ground. In an instant, the already moist forest combined with the influence of water escape. Now the humidity in the entire forest is terrifying. Thousands of thunders also broke out in an instant, and countless thunder and lightning crazily impacted everyone here. The next moment, the wood that was originally wet was all scorched. At the same time, all water is decomposed into gas. Chongming, take me up. Now all the people of the Teodi clan were temporarily paralyzed by Qinlei's attack. And Shubai took advantage of this time, and directly asked Zongming to pick him up. After hearing what Shubai said, Zongming also directly picked up Shubai. Chongming, fly high, this will affect it. Shubai also said directly. How tall is it? Probably, about 800 meters. If you want to be insured, it will be 1,000 meters. Shubai also said directly. After hearing Shubai's words, Zongming also raised his height again. Alright, multiple shadow avatars, Huo Dai and Wangwo extinguished. After reaching a certain height, Shubai also directly released his clone. Then, 10 Shubai jumped off Chongming's back together. Directly in the air released the arrogant fire to the forest. Originally, Shubai's arrogant fire was very powerful. In addition to the oxygen and hydrogen produced after electrolysis here, it burned instantly after encountering the flame. In addition, when they were released, the 10 Shubais were formed in a circle and released directly in the middle. After the flames gathered together, an explosion occurred in an instant. All the clones disappeared immediately by this powerful impact, and the forest below also disappeared in the next moment. I'm going, this power is greater than I thought. Shubai felt the heat wave coming from below, and his face also showed a look of surprise. Shigeki and Ling's faces also showed a look of surprise, while Minako sat there calmly, because he knows how powerful his man is. Well, these friends are over. Let's move on, Shubai also said directly. After hearing Shubai's words, everyone set out again. There were originally some young people who wanted to hit them. But after seeing this scene, he also went straight back. It is not what they want to send to death for a tailed beast in vain. The most important thing is that he knows that he can't win, and he doesn't even want to fight. Perceiving that the tail behind him disappeared, Shubai's mouth curled up, and then he began to enjoy the beauty here with Minako. At this time, Zuma knew why Shubai chose to go to Taki no Kuni. This guy left a big trouble for them. That is the corner of the disappeared village. When the Beidou came last time, it directly destroyed 1/10 of the area of the village. This is not the result of his outbreak of battle. If a battle really occurs, it is estimated that Konoha will be overthrown and rebuilt, at this time, in a claustrophobic environment. Beidou, your Kusana sword has been obtained. Next, wait for the remaining 2 Kusana swords to appear. According to the instructions, it is also in that village. Based on your knowledge of that village, if you directly occupy it, will it be possible? Affect the plan. At this time, the headed man also asked directly. It is not recommended. I met someone this time. His ability is very weird, unlike ordinary people. And his attack can hurt me. Although this time we played against him, he gave up in disguise, but he is not sure. Is there still an existence like him? After all, the man next to him also makes me feel a kind of palpitations. Beidou also said directly. Although he didn't talk to Shubai, Zhu Jian really did something. However, Zhu Jian suppressed the Yayu with its own strength, and Shubai also showed the strength that could hurt him. Therefore, Beidou is not recommended to go now. Oh, it seems that there are people with natural selections in this world. If it is really them, we don't need to touch them for the time being. After all, although we are not afraid of the power of the rules of the world, we might be forced to shoot. It will attract their attention. Let's do it now, wait until the other 2 grass Naginata swords appear, and then talk. The man in the lead also disappeared directly after speaking. At this time, Shubai and the others didn't know that because of them, Konoha had a mortal round. Soon, Shubai and the others arrived in Taki no Kuni. I originally thought that there would be something interesting on the road, but I didn't expect it. Because of Shubai's previous trick, all the tails were gone. Elder Shubai, this is our country of Taki. After arriving in the country of Taki, a group of people stood on a high mountain. Ling pointed to the city below and said slowly. This is the country of Taki. Shubai said in amazement as he watched the densely populated terraces and houses scattered in front of him. Well, because of the environment here, we can only do this. If it weren't for Chakryu, we shouldn't be like this now. Ling also said helplessly. If these chakra jade appeared in places like Konoha and Union, then they have the strength to guard these properties. However, this chakra jade appeared in Taki no Kuni. This is what people often say, everyone is innocent and guilty. I see. Starting from today, I will contact the village as soon as possible to announce my relationship with you. At the same time, I will arrange for someone to come and be stationed. Of course, we will not interfere with anything in your country. When encountering an enemy, we will be responsible for fighting against you. That's it, Shu Bai also said directly. Thank you so much, Ling said, also knelt directly on the ground. Get up, after you kneel, you will feel at ease. After hearing Shu Bai's words, the group set off again. After all, their destination is not here, but Chakra Jade Veins. Elder Zubai, this is my home. The Chakra Jade Vein is half a day away from here. It's getting late now. Let's rest for a day and move on. Lingzhong Shu Bai also said directly after taking him to her house. Okay, let's take a rest. Shu Bai looked at the sky when Zhengyang was in the sky, and agreed directly. You know, although Ling is Takikage, such a thing is probably a decision she can't make alone. At this time, she should take Naneo to meet other elders or something, right? Little Yi, this is a distinguished guest from the land of fire, so please treat me well. My aunt will bring you good-looking clothes back tonight. Ling also said directly to a 13-year-old girl in front of the door. I know my auntie. In this way, Shu Bai and Minako stayed first. Ling also left directly. Your name is Xiao Yi, do you know how to do ninjutsu? Shu Bai also walked to Xiao Yi's face and said softly. Yes, and there are a lot of little Yi. Fire escape little flames, soil escape mud pill, water escape blister technique, wind escape wind, thunder escape electric flower. After Xiao Yi finished speaking, she immediately released her own ninjutsu. Watching the chakras of species attributes continue to spin around Xiao Yi, and Xiao Yi controlled them very well. Uncle, why are you not talking? Is it because Xiao Yi's ninjutsu is very bad? Seeing Shu Bai did not speak, Xiao Yi also put away his ninjutsu and said with a grieved expression. No, it's great, Xiao Yi is really great. Shu Bai came back to his senses and said with praise. At this time, Shu Bai also had some doubts in his heart. This has just gone through the warring states period, how could there be such a simple little girl? But, my uncle didn't praise me. Xiao Yi also said directly. Uncle won't praise you, but uncle wants to be your teacher, can you? Shu Bai also said directly. You know, now Shu Bai is also a chakra who has mastered the earth attribute with the help of all the earth attribute ninjas in the village. Although I can't release any ninjutsu with the earth attribute yet, is there anyway? Therefore, after seeing Xiao Yi who possessed all 5 attributes, Shu Bai also gave birth to a love for talent. Uncle, what is a teacher? Xiao Yi slowly said while looking at Shu Bai with a dazed expression after hearing this word. Subsequently, Shu Bai also spent nearly an hour explaining to Xiao Yi what is a teacher and what an apprentice is. But until after thinking about it, Xiao Yi directly refused. Because Ling told her that he couldn't do this. If you want to become Shu Bai's disciple, you need to wait for Ling to come back and agree. Hearing this answer, Shu Bai was also a little bit dumbfounded. When he was 13 or 14, although he was a waste, he was sent to the battlefield and began to contribute to the family. At the age of 15, that is, after Shu Bai came into this world, he even began to show his power. But the little Yi in front of him is like a child, knowing nothing. This is also the point that Shu Bai values Xiao Yi, because she is simply a blank piece of paper. No matter what ideas Shu Bai wants to instill, they can be inherited perfectly. Originally wanted to take Minako out to play, but now she also gave up this plan. Let's wait for Ling to come back and deal with the matter here before talking about other things. As time passed slowly, Shu Bai was also playing around with Minako, but left a clone here. As long as Ling comes back, Shu Bai will know for the first time. Shu Bai, this is so beautiful. Now Shu Bai and Minako are also shopping together. This is also the first time that Minako has been shopping with Shu Bai for so long. After seeing the dazzling array of products, Minako was also very happy. Well, this is very suitable for you. Shu Bai also took a necklace from Minako and put it on Minako directly. Boss, how much is this? 50,000 taels. Okay, 50,000, what did you say, 50,000 taels? Shu Bai's face also showed a look of surprise. You know, this necklace is really good, but it's not worth the price. You know, 100,000 taels is the price of 1 tael, this thing is worth more than half of 1 tael. Well, and now you have used it, you can't return it. The boss also said again. Moreover, after he finished speaking, 3 sturdy men appeared behind him. Judging from the look of this guy, it's just taking you. But what makes this boss strange is, why is Shubai's face so calm? Boy, now take the money out, or be forced to take out the money. The technique of multiple shadow clones. The next moment, hundreds of Shubai appeared here instantly. Then, one by one looked at the store in front of him with a smile on his face. Sorry, there was a dog barking just now, but I didn't hear clearly. You just said, what do you want me to be forced to do? Shubai also pointed his ears and said with a puzzled look. Well, don't move the 4 of you now. I will leave 50 clones to watch you. Later, your Takikage-sama will come to see you by himself. By the way, you can change your article first. The pants, otherwise it will smell like my clone. After Shubai finished speaking, he also threw 50 taels. These 52 taels are the previous price, and Shubai has no habit of bullying others. Give what you should give. Minako, let's continue. By the way, when did your physical skills rise to such a high level? Shubai also said directly. Shubai, I actually wanted to tell you last time. But it's a bit too strange. After I'm with you, my body will change. Moreover, our physique is a bit special, and we can share our husband's strength. So, now Minako is also very strong. Minako also said directly. After hearing Minako's words, Shubai's face also showed a look of surprise. Unexpectedly, Minako still has such a special physique. Although he had never heard of it before, he knew that Minako had not lied to himself. Moreover, if Minako is going to be against him, it is estimated that he is already GG now. Aren't you angry? Minako looked at Shubai in surprise, and said in disbelief. Don't be angry, why be angry? If you become strong, I will be very happy too. In this way, you will be much less likely to encounter danger in the future. Shubai also said with a smile. After hearing Shubai's words, Minako also had tears on her face. What's wrong? Don't cry. I am not. Oh, did I say something wrong? Shubai said nervously. No, I'm so happy. You know, we have many sisters who were killed directly after confessing to their husbands. Because they didn't need a woman who threatened them. It's a plaything. But you husband, I can really feel the love in your heart just now. So I'm so happy. Minako also threw directly into Shubai's arms and started sobbing. After hearing what Minako said, Shubai also deeply blamed himself. Unexpectedly, there were so many things hidden in her heart. And herself, as her husband, has never found out. Well, as long as I am here, I will always love you. Now if your strength is equivalent to mine, you can join me no matter where I go in the future. Shubai also stroked Minako's hair, said slowly. Soon, Minako stopped crying, and then the two started shopping again. In the evening, Ling also came back. According to the information from the clone, Ling's expression was a bit unpleasant. It seems that negotiations with the people in the village have failed. But this was already in Shubai's expectation. After all, when Ling left, Shubai had already guessed that there would be such a result. After returning to Ling's residence, Shubai also found Ling directly. Ling, have you encountered any trouble? Shubai said slowly. Well, they are willing to buy Naneo at the price we discussed before, but they are not willing to take out the veins and Konoha. Also, they are not willing to sell chakra jade to you at that price. Ling also said helplessly. After hearing Ling's words, Shubai's face also showed a smile. These guys look more greedy than they thought. However, he was greedy here, but he found the wrong target. Do you think you have the confidence to have Naneo? Not to mention others, I can make this place disappear directly by myself now, I think you should know it. Shubai also said directly. Ling was also a little panicked after hearing Shubai's words. Because she has seen Shubai's strength, it is really not very complicated to make Taki no Kuni disappear. Moreover, now Shubai, murderous intent appeared in his eyes. In other words, if this matter is defined by Shubai as playing with them Konoha, it is estimated that the entire Taki no Kuni will be wiped out in a short amount of time. I'm trying my best to persuade them, and I also ask Elder Zubai not to get angry. Can you give me some more time? I believe I can convince them. Ling also said anxiously. Well, I'll give you one night. Tomorrow, I will either take me to the mine that belongs to us, or I will leave directly. Shu Bai didn't say much, and gave the final letter. Right, Xiao Yi, I think as a disciple, I hope you can agree to Ling. Ling's heart was completely cold when he heard the first half sentence. But after hearing the next words, Ling's heart also kindled a glimmer of hope. Yes, it is her blessing that Xiao Yi can be valued by Elder Zubai. However, can you give me more time? I will definitely get back to you before noon tomorrow. Ling also said again. Can. After Shu Bai finished speaking, he went directly to the room Ling arranged for him. After eating the meal delivered by Xiao Yi, Shu Bai also rested with Minako. Host, the number of pickups today is about to be cleared. Please pick up quickly, so as not to lose the reward of continuous pickup. Just after Shu Bai lay down, the system's prompt sound came from his ear. After hearing the system prompt, Shu Bai also jumped up directly. Yes, I patronized the road today and went shopping with Minako. When prompted by the system, Shu Bai also remembered that he hadn't picked it up yet. System, why didn't you prompt earlier? It's almost past 12 o'clock now, and now you say, where should I pick it up? Shu Bai also complained. Although the system is very innocent, but did not continue to say anything. After Shu Bai spit out, he also covered Minako's quilt and left directly. After leaving the room, Shu Bai also looked around for things to pick up. Shu Bai is now at level 10, and the number of pickups is 30 times. At this time, Shu Bai even wanted to have fewer pickups so that he could finish it quickly. At this moment, Shu Bai suddenly discovered something luminous in the distance. Shu Bai couldn't see clearly what was displayed on it, because the distance was too far, so he couldn't see clearly. It took 10 minutes to quickly come to this luminous spot. Natural energy, what is this? Looking at the things on the ground, Shu Bai's face was also puzzled. Looking at the objects on the ground, Shu Bai's face also showed a strange look. The name of this energy has never been heard. He knows natural energy, but he has never heard of this natural energy. But now Shu Bai has no choice but to pick this up first. This item was all over the floor, and Shu Bai quickly picked it up 30 times. However, this underground natural energy reminded Shu Bai of the situation he encountered when he was in the Libra clan. Could it be that the energy that exists here is the same as natural energy? Is it possible that there are other immortals in this world? You know, Dailong Cave and Miaomu Mountain are not in Takino country in Shu Bai's memory. However, even the other two fairylands will only be natural energy, not natural energy. After thinking of this, Shu Bai also directly sat down. If this energy is really something similar to natural energy, then should you be able to cultivate? So Shu Bai also sat down directly. It was also in accordance with the method of refining chakras, and began to practice. Time passed slowly, and soon it was noon the next day. Shu Bai, who was still cultivating, was also interrupted by the news from his clone. This thing is really the same level of energy as natural energy. After Shu Bai muttered, he also left directly. After all, the purpose of coming here is not to cultivate here. Although this thing can improve Shu Bai's strength, it is necessary to deal with the matter here first. And I don't know how to run here. When the time comes to deal with the things here, I just want to come here again. Soon, he first returned to Ling's residence. Sorry, I made you wait for a long time. After Shu Bai came back, he also guilty first. It's okay, but in the end I didn't get all of it. They only promised to give you a mineral vein, but they were still unwilling to deal with it. Ling also said helplessly. Yeah, I know. Come out, the guy hiding there. If you want to know my reply, just come out and listen. After Shu Bai finished speaking, he also directly released his own breath. After feeling the breath on Shu Bai's body, the three of them also walked out from the dark place on one side. It's true that Uchiha, the god of ninjutsu, who is one of the three gods of the ninja world, confined us in this way. The headed man was a bald man, also said. After hearing the words of the big bald head, Shu Bai's face also showed a smile. It seems that this guy is the leading figure in this operation. And depending on the position of other people, this man should be more noble than Hyogo in this Takino country. Okay, my answer is just one word, kill. After Shu Bai finished speaking, he also directly turned on the fairy mode and writing round eyes. In an instant, the extremely powerful dark attribute also burst out. Elder Shubai, please calm down, haven't we also come here in person? We can talk, we can talk. The bald head also said anxiously after feeling the breath on Shubai's body. Although his rights are relatively high here, his strength is not high. In front of Shubai, he could be wiped out with just one finger. Therefore, at this time, the man still admitted immediately. Oh, can I talk about it? But, now I don't have any interest in talking to you. You are not qualified to talk to me. After Shubai finished speaking, an instantaneous spell appeared behind the bald man. Kuwu in his hand had already touched his neck. I'm Gang Richuan, I'm not interested in knowing the name of the dead person. After Shubai finished speaking, he also slid the Kuwu in his hand. The next moment, the man immediately lost his breath. After seeing Shubai's sharp movements, the men around Gang Richuan also pulled out their long swords in an instant. You guys, do you want to do it with me too? Shubai twisted the Kuwu in his hand and held it in his hand, and asked indifferently. You guys, don't you stop. After hearing Shubai's words, Ling also stood up directly and yelled loudly. Several people glanced at each other, and Gang Richuan was now dead. There is no need for them to fight for a dead person. Thinking of this, several people also threw their weapons on the ground. Master Takikage, I think you should know who are opposed to this UI cooperation this time. We will visit them one by one. Then, they will be able to agree. If they disagree, they will probably die. Shubai still smiled and said. Ling turned pale after hearing Shubai's words. This Shubai, who looked smiling, didn't expect to be so cruel. And she didn't doubt Shubai's words at all. If these guys still disagree, it is estimated that they will really not see the sun tomorrow. Okay, I'll take you there. Takikage-sama, no, if next time you speak without permission, it will have the same consequences as him. After Shubai finished speaking, the man also fell. At this time, there was still a cold kunai on his neck. Soon, under the leadership of Ling, Shubai found all the opponents. Without exception, these guys are all in power in Taki no Kuni. And Ling himself was just a puppet who had no rights, but was placed on the bright side. At this moment, looking at Ling who was bloodless, Shubai's face also showed a smile. This girl is really smart, knowing to use herself to help her take control of Taki no Kuni. But that's okay, it's better to work with smart people than with fools. Ling, I will leave the arrangements to you now. I still have the same conditions as before. I will not participate in your management, but there is nothing that belongs to me. By the way, I can build it with you. A set of your own house, right? Shubai also said again. Yes, Elder Shubai. Ling also replied simply. Although on the surface it seemed to be solitary, the joy in the tone couldn't be hidden. Can I decide the location? Shubai asked again. Yes, Elder Zubai, you just need to tell me, I will arrange someone to help you build your residence. Ling also said again. After hearing Ling's words, Shubai also turned around and left directly. By the way, I will go back a bit. Then I will come back again. When Shubai was no longer visible, his voice came from leisurely. Minako, your speed is the same as mine. It seems that what you said is true. But, I have a question, can you practice independently? Shubai looked at Minako who was next to him, who was on par with him. Also asked directly. We only have this ability. If we follow the right person, our strength will be very strong. But if we marry a farmer, we will also get a strong planting experience. But it is really because of this talent and also a limitation. Our growth, no matter how hard we work, our strength will only be the same as our own husband. Minako also said slowly. After hearing what Minako said, Shubai smiled and said nothing. Although this ability is very powerful, it seems that he can't replicate his picking ability. It is estimated that this ability does not belong to this world, or sometimes, this system ability has exceeded the ability to replicate. Anyway, the result now is that Minako can't replicate. A few days later, they also arrived at Konoha. Elder Shubai, are you back? Just after Shubai arrived at Konoha, the masked Anbu member of Yijie also appeared next to Shubai and said slowly. Well, I'm back. By the way, did anything special happen during the time I left here? Shubai also asked directly. It's okay, my wife doesn't need to hide it. Shubai also said slowly. Nothing special, except that Naruto-sama and the head of the police department had a headache because of the missing corner. Most of them have recovered now, but now they don't know why the corner of the village will disappear. Anbu member said slowly too. After hearing his words, Shubai's face also showed an awkward look. He knew about this, but since the pillars chose to conceal it, he didn't say anything. Okay, go back to my position, I will go back myself. After Shubai finished speaking, the instantaneous spell also disappeared. And Minako disappeared with it. Elder Zubai's wife, is that amazing too? The Onbi member returned to his post after saying a word. Soon, Shubai came to the spot where Madara was. At this time, Madara was discussing something with the two of Zujian. Oh, I'm back. Shubai also appeared directly in the house and said loudly. I see, the breath on your body has long been felt by the pillars. I don't know what powerful guest you brought back this time. Madara also said slowly. What powerful guest? No, it's my wife Minako. After Shubai finished speaking, Minako also appeared next to Shubai. After seeing Minako appear, the faces of the two also showed surprise. You know, when Shubai got married, they also met Minako. But at that time, Minako was still a normal woman. But now, the aura exuding from her body is simply shadow level. You know, they left Konoha in just 1 month, how could their strengths have changed so much? Shubai, do you have any adventures when you go out this time? Madara also asked directly. Between the pillars on one side, he also looked at Shubai with interest. This, I really don't know how to tell you. I won't talk about this for now, what are you talking about? Shubai also asked directly. By the way, you are back. Who is the person you met last time? Hearing from Zujian, he suppressed the two of you alone. Madara also asked directly. After hearing Ma's words, Shubai's face also showed a real look. It seems that they are talking about this. In fact, the last time I and Zuma were careless, and the other party's attack method was different from all ninjutsu we know. Therefore, we also suffered for a while. And he said, our ninjutsu there is no harm to him, but when I use natural energy between the pillars, it is obvious that it can cause harm to him. If there is no wrong guess, they should have some special ability to restrain ninjutsu. But for physical skills and natural energy are also inevitable. If you ask me to fight him again, it is still unknown who will win and who will win. Shubai also said slowly. Elder Zubai said the same as I thought. Although the psychic beast is very powerful, it is not strong enough to ignore our existence. Zujian also said directly. After hearing the words of the two, Minako also resigned directly. After all, in this world, as Shubai's woman, she is still not suitable for participating in these things. After Minako left, Madara's face also showed a look of doubt. Elder Zubai, what is going on this time? I think you should talk to us. Leave the two of us here to wipe your ass, do we have to let us know the situation? Madara said depressedly. You know, he was under a lot of pressure during this period. The village had just been established, and it didn't take long for it to be attacked like this. The most important thing is that until now, I still don't know who did it. This makes the people in the village a little dissatisfied, and even large families hope that they can have their own standing guards. But Madara would not agree to such a thing. But there is a reason to refuse others. After all, no one knows who is attacking the village, which makes everyone feel insecure. Actually, I am still very confused about this matter, although I know what the purpose of their coming is. But this purpose makes me a little confused. Madara knows it, I have a sword called Murakami before. This is one of the 7-handed grass Naginata swords. The ability can improve my attack, but it's tasteless in my hands. So I haven't used it much. But last time the guy named Beto came over and asked me to give him Muramasa. These pillars are also known. Shubai also said slowly. After hearing Shubai's words, the three people also fell silent for a while. This thing is too weird, I don't know where the other party comes from, and even the purpose is very vague. Not to mention, how could they react to this incident? Elder Zubai, if we follow your idea, what are we going to do now? Zhu Jian was also the first to speak. How to do it? Actually, I came back this time to tell you about it. I found a very interesting thing in Taki no Kuni, and I want to take you to see it when I come back this time. Madara, Yours. How long can the clone stay far away from itself? Shubai also said directly. This time he planned to take both of them together, otherwise it would be a bit pitiful to leave Madara here every time. Moreover, Madara at this time has already been dissatisfied. 10 days. Madara also said slowly. 10 days are not enough, how about you between the pillars? My Mudun avatar can last for half a year without leaving me. Chu Jian said slowly. You know, after losing the chakra provided by the host, a person's clone cannot exist for a long time. As for the pillars, it is because of the special Mudun plus Shanshu chakra. The original Naruto, also because of the doppelganger in Miaomu Mountain, was able to use the Shanshu chakra to allow his own doppelganger to practice there and stay there. Moreover, there are only 2 online. Mara, see if you want to go out with us. If you want to go out, the avatar between the pillars will change to look like you. You will deal with the village affairs first, and when you come back, you will continue to work. Shubai said slowly too. Actually, I don't think I am really suitable for Hokage. No, I don't like doing it. It seems that after 3 years, I still have to abdicate to other people. This is too much trouble for Hokage. Madara also slowly said. You know, originally Madara was the kind of person who didn't like to manage mundane affairs. Now, as Hokage, he needs to take the lead in everything big and small. For Madara, this is simply more painful than high-intensity training. The reason why he has to sit for 3 full years is that Madara doesn't want others to say he can't bear it. After all, Super Tsunere spot is not something to talk about. Even in front of Shubai and Zhu Jian, this guy is so insincere, let alone in front of other people. Still the same sentence, I have to pretend to be forced, I have to pretend to be crying. In the end, I decided to let the clone of the column stay here. After all, Shubai said that he had found something interesting, but he didn't tell them. Wanting them to follow along to see it together makes Madara unable to let go. Therefore, he also made a decision and went with him. Ma, you are not afraid of the decision made by Zujian. Will you be dissatisfied when you go back? Or, some adjustment policies made by Zujian, etc., will you feel inappropriate and abolish it? 3 people move quickly in the forest, Shubai also joked. What's right or wrong? Just like us, it's for the good of the village. Even if our ideas are somewhat different, as long as it is for the good things of the village, I won't go against it. Madara also directly replied. 2. After hearing Madara's words, Shubai and Zujian both laughed. What are you 2 laughing at? Really, if you encounter something that doesn't go well with me when I go back this time, it will be fine for me to do it for me in the future. I haven't come out for a long time, I always feel that I have to forget it. The color of the sky has changed. Madara said with emotion. When you were in Konoha, you couldn't see the heavens. The pillars also joked. Although in front of other people, the pillars are the kind of unsmiling people. But when he stayed with Shubai and Madara, Zujian also liked to joke. After all, in this world, they don't have many friends. Holding it in front of others, but in front of one's own friends, there is no way, and there is no need to continue holding it. You don't know, I review the official documents every day. I don't know how these people have so many things for me to review. This is still the case when I have a writing wheel, and I don't have time to leave the Hokage room. And, just even Tianai's family wants to raise a cow and ask me to sign it. That's enough. Ban also started his own complaint mode. You know, no matter which Hokage is. Every time I saw them in the office, they were dealing with official duties. Moreover, the official documents in front of them are not less, they are all piles of piles. Hearing Madara's complaints, the 2 laughed again. This guy had to fight to be Hokage at first, but this time after more than a year, this guy wanted to quit. Sure enough, Madara is an arrogant receiver. Seeing that they were smiling again, Madara also looked depressed. But now, he decided not to say anything, because no matter what he said, these 2 guys would laugh at himself. As time passed slowly, they also arrived in Taki no Kuni. And along the way, Shubai also picked up a lot of good things. Especially Madara, she didn't want to come out with Shubai. Every time when you have to rest at night, this guy will always pester you to release ninjutsu. And the pillars were not let go, so let him release a wooden escape to play. In the past 10 days, even Ding Shenghua Buddha has been released several times. This is the country of Takino, how about it, do you feel any difference? Shu Bai and the two stood together at the high place where they stood together, and asked directly. Feeling, nothing. Now I just want to take a break. It's painful to come out with you Guy. Ban said with a tired expression. Me too, for the first time there is a sense of joy that I have finally arrived at the destination. Zujian also breathed heavily. Shu Bai also looked embarrassed after hearing the words of the two. Didn't you just let them release a bit of ninjutsu, isn't it that scary? However, Shu Bai didn't say it, otherwise, these two guys would besiege him. The three of them also quickly came to the position Shu Bai chose by himself, and this place was already circled by Ling Jie. Because when Shu Bai left before, he said what he wanted here. Here is the place I chose. Madara, between the two of you, feel the difference, is there any difference here? Shu Bai asked again. Different, there is indeed something different here, you see, here is circled. Madara also said seriously. Originally, when Shu Bai and Zujian heard Madara talking, they were listening seriously. But they still misunderstood. Madara is still Madara, and it is impossible to become serious. Okay, I'm serious. Didn't you say that you didn't feel a special energy? Shu Bai also said directly. After hearing Shu Bai's words, Madara released his own Susanoo in an instant. Then he drew his long knife and pointed at a big tree on one side. Come out, really. If you want to hide in front of the three of us, it is estimated that no one in this world has such an ability. Madara also said with pride. But what Madara said was the truth, even if Highway was here, he couldn't escape the perception of the three of them. Beidou had also been sensed by Zujian and Shu Bai before. Master Hokage, I am Ling, don't do it. At this moment, Ling also appeared in front of Shu Bai and the others with Xiao Yi. Ling, why are you here? Shu Bai also asked with a puzzled look. After seeing that it was Hiroshima, Madara also lifted his Susanoo directly. After all, water chestnut caused no threat in Madara's eyes at all. I have been guarding here. Didn't Elder Shu Bai say that this is the place you asked for? I'm afraid. Okay, you know, the three of us have very strong perceptions. Leave Xiao Yi behind, and then you can leave. If anything like this happens, then I will consider, Taki no Kuni, is it time for another person to be the leader? Shu Bai didn't wait for Ling to finish, but interrupted her directly. Ling also looked embarrassed after hearing Shu Bai's words. She knew that no matter what she said now, it had no effect. It's better to just admit it, and then take the people here and leave. After seeing Ling and the others leave, Xiao Yi also walked to Shu Bai's side. Why do you want a sister-in-law? Isn't the teacher a good one? Xiao Yi also asked with a look of confusion. At the same time, there was a bit of dissatisfaction in his tone. The teacher doesn't have a fierce aunt, just tell your aunt that some of my things will be watched by myself. I am not afraid of your aunt's hard work, Shu Bai also said directly. After hearing Shu Bai's words, Madara and Zujian's faces were hung with black lines. This guy, the ability to speak the vernacular is simply not too strong. Yeah, I said the teacher is the best. Xiao Yi also smiled after hearing Shu Bai's words, but at this time, Shijian and Madara couldn't laugh. In fact, they discovered when they first arrived here, the entire underground was hollowed out. However, below this, there is nothing strange at all. However, they also felt the strange energy Shu Bai said. Especially between the pillars, he who has the Shanshu chakra also felt the unusual energy here. Shu Bai, what's the difference here? Hurry up and say it. Madara is impatient, and doesn't like circling around. There is something called natural energy here. I wonder if it has something to do with natural energy. Shu Bai also said slowly. After hearing Shu Bai's words, Zujian and Madara looked at Shu Bai with confusion. You know, this is what natural energy, neither of them has heard of it. Chapter 71. After seeing the expressions of the two, Shu Bai also suddenly realized that he had said something wrong. The name of this energy is known through the system, which means that it is very likely that people in this world do not know the existence of this energy. But now that he suddenly said the name of this energy, in their opinion, it was also a bit strange. What are you looking at me doing? I have also practiced Shanshu chakra. When I practiced Shanshu chakra, I sucked into my body natural energy. This energy is somewhat similar to natural energy, so I also gave him a name, called natural energy. Shubai also said slowly. Well, no matter how you know the name of this energy, do you know the source of this energy? Madara also said slowly. There have been some guesses, but there are still some doubts about the specific reasons. Therefore, I brought you here this time for this matter. Shubai also adjusted his mentality and said slowly. You mean that the energy here has something to do with that special chakra jade? Zujian also said with a look of confusion. It should be, the special thing here should be this. Okay, now it's useless for us to guess here, let's go and see for ourselves. I remember, your wooden escape between the pillars can go underground. Right, both of us are not good at escaping, so you will be the guide. Shubai also looked at the pillar with a wicked smile. After hearing Shubai's words, Zujian also knew. He was the only one to do this. Sure enough, I was here to do coolies. Mu Dun bottom line dragon. The pillars also made a seal quickly, and then a huge wooden dragon also appeared in front of the three of them, and quickly went down to the ground. Between the pillars, don't run so fast. Here, get me a house out first. Shubai also shouted loudly. After hearing Shubai's words, Zujian returned here again. Really, if you want to cover up here, just say it directly. If I have to say, I will come here to give you the feeling of doing carpentry. Wooden escape wooden house art. Zujian also used his chakra again to create a large piece of its main house. Although it is simple, it is enough to serve as a cover. In this way, the three of them also went down to my place again. Because Ling and the others had already excavated before, when they went down this time, they quickly broke through the front soil layer. After going down more than 100 meters, the speed also slowed down. And they all discovered a problem, that is, the more they go down, the harder the soil layer becomes. No, there is no way to go further down with the bottom line dragon technique. The soil here is no longer the soil layer, and it should be in contact with the hard rock. Now we should be 400 meters away from the ground. After releasing the ninjutsu, he said slowly. In other words, from here, do we have to dig it ourselves? Madara said with a puzzled expression. Hey, do you remember when we were mining before? This time we will compare and see who can dig something useful first. Shubai also took out a shovel in an instant and started to do it. After hearing Shubai's words, the two also glanced at each other, and immediately started to work. You know, the two of them are also unwilling to admit defeat. Hearing Shubai's words, they also directly started to do it. This shovel was previously made of chakra metal, and after being filled with chakra, it also became hard and sharp. Slowly, a large mound appeared behind them. Shubai, come and take a look, I should have won. I dug here too. While Shubai was working hard, Madara and Zujian's voice came from beside him. Sure enough, you can't win a contest with the chosen one at all. Shubai put away his shovel and ran directly to the two of them to take a look. At this moment, Shubai discovered that under the hard rock formation, there was actually a huge chakra jade. Moreover, looking at the chakra jade in front of the two of them, they are all huge, and they have not been dug out. In other words, it is still unknown how big this piece of chakra jade is now, and it is even possible for the two of them to dig a piece now. Looking at the chakra jade in front of him, Shubai can now confirm that this is the thing that emits natural energy. Mara, Zuma, now we can't compare. Anyway, I can't beat the two of you. Now there is a very obvious result, that is, directly below us, there is a huge chakra jade. Or, there is a huge chakra jade directly below us. What a peculiar existence. If we can enter a place like the wet bone forest, then our strength will definitely be greatly improved. Shubai also slowly said. Yeah, if there is really a wet bone forest below here, it can really improve us a lot in a short time. Zhu Jian also nodded, affirming. But at this time, Madara looked dazed. What are these two guys talking about? After all, Madara had no fairy body, so he didn't even know the existence of the wet bone forest. In addition, the spot is a yin attribute chakra, and it cannot go to the wet bone forest. You two, what are you talking about? Madara said unhappy. Ah, I forgot that Madara didn't know about the existence of Shanshu. Actually, Zujian and I have an ability, that is, the body of the fairy. After Shubai finished speaking, the two also directly released their own fairy body. This is the ability we have acquired in a secret place called Wet Bone Forest. The condensing of this special physique needs to condense a kind of energy that is different from chakra, called natural energy. And here is similar to natural energy. What is called natural energy is very likely to link a secret realm. Shubai also used his simplest words to express the whole thing clearly. Natural energy, a mortal body. I said, how did this fellow between the pillars improve so fast? That is to say, if I encounter such an existence here, I can also have what you call the immortal body. Asked again. This is not certain, because every ability is chosen. Otherwise, Taki no Kuni will not come to the present, still so weak. It is not the time to discuss these, now we must quickly integrate the rock formations here. It's cleared up. Only then will we know if our guess is correct. After Shubai finished speaking, without waiting for the answer from the two, he directly waved the shovel in his hand and started digging. A few hours later, this place was also completely cleaned out by the three of them. A huge round chakra jade appeared in front of the three of them. This is the so-called chakra jade in Taki no Kuni. Have you noticed that we have just used so many chakras, but now there is no consumption at all? At the same time, I also feel that my chakras have become more solid. Shubai asked slowly. Well, yes, that's what they said, speeding up cultivation and enhancing the power of chakra output. It seems that it is to consolidate our chakra. Madara also said slowly. You know, he has a writing wheel. He is very clear about his chakra, so a little change can be felt. What's more, it is such an obvious change now. As for the pillars, he had practiced Shanshu chakra originally, and he was more clear about this change. This site now belongs to us, and there is another mineral vein that also belongs to us. I guess this is the center point, and the surrounding mineral veins are just the chakra metal that has been assimilated by it for a long time. So, you decide all right. Who will go back to be Hokage and who will stay to practice? Shubai also said the key point. After hearing Shubai's words, Madara and Zuma were silent. Although both wanted to stay, it seemed impossible now. After all, both of them have a strong pursuit of strength. How about this, the three of us will stay. Or, just move this back. Chu Jian also said directly. Move back, I guess we will be attacked by countless ninja villages and families before we reach Konoha. This thing is not as simple as a mineral vein. Shubai also showed an awkward look on his face. I have a way, but I don't know if you want it or not. The column also said again. After hearing the words between the pillars, Shubai also suddenly remembered that he was alone. But this distance is not a short distance teleportation, even he should not be able to do it. Zujian, are you talking about the newly developed ninjutsu using Phagian? Shubai also said with a puzzled look. Yeah, that's it. His ninjutsu plus your ability to replicate, and then the two will continuously transfer and teleport in stages. It should be able to support us back. Zujian also gave a positive answer. This is an idea, but how many times can you transfer such a big thing in a day? Moreover, the energy in this thing is very powerful, can chakra really attach to it? Madara said in confusion. Now the relationship between Phagian and them has eased a lot, so Madara also knows that Phagian developed the god of thunder. Actually, I have another way, which is to use the psychic beast. However, neither I nor the psychic beast between the pillars are good at this. So, Shubai and Zujian also set their eyes on Madara at the same time. What are you two doing? Although my psychic beast is good at carrying it, I just tried contacting it. He is terrified of this energy, so he refuses to appear. Madara also said with a helpless expression. After hearing Madara's words, Shubai knew Madara had really changed. If you change to the previous spot, you won't care about the life and death of your psychic beast, so let's try it out first. Okay, let's try it first. Between the pillars, you can contact the door immediately now, it is not good, just stay here for a few more days, and then I will copy more, then I can transfer by myself. Of course, the premise is that the Flying Thunder God technique can really be attached to this chakra jade. Shubai also said slowly. After hearing Shubai's words, Zujian also immediately contacted his Mudun clone. At this time, the avatar of the pillar was in the Hokage office to review and document documents in the form of Madara. Nara Haruyu, go and help me, Minister Anbu called over. At this moment, Madara put down the documents in his hand and said directly to Nara Haruyu. Minister Anbu. Got it. Soon, Janjian also came to the Hokage office. Minister Fei, this is your message from Takino Kuni, please take a look. Madara said. He also took out a piece of paper on the table and handed it to Fei. After seeing the above information, Feijian's face also showed a look of surprise. Got it. After talking about it, he also disappeared here. At this time, Haruyu Nara looked at the disappearance of the door with a gloomy expression. After sighing, Nara Haruyu also returned to the office and continued to help Makata with official duties. However, the Nara clan really have extremely powerful brains. Many things are done with their help. It has been confirmed. Now the three of them are not in the village. The one in Hokage's office is a Mudan avatar in the post, plus I don't know what happened this time, so I have left. Do you want to take advantage of it now? No, now the people in the village still believe that the two clans are headed. Even in our family, there is still a large number of people who support those two clans. So, what we have to do now is to stigmatize them. This one, well, we are like this, and then. At this time, Shubai in the distance didn't know it yet. When they were in the country of Taki, there was already a conspiracy unfolding in Konoha. And Kuma also arrived in Takino Kuni only half a month later. And in order not to let people know his final destination, he also let his clone go in different directions. Big brother, you are all here. Really, such a big thing, even I don't know about it. Seeing that the three of them are all here, he said with a grumbling face. Although I was complaining in the interim, there was joy in the words. Because he knows that from today onwards, he has really integrated into these three people. Okay, let's not talk about it now. This is what we need to transfer. Minister Feijian, see if we can impose the Flying Thunder God. Shubai also said directly. Yeah, I'll try it first. After talking about it, he slowly walked to Chakryu. Shu Shen. Soon after the knot printing, a curse-like thing appeared on the chakra jade in an instant. But soon, in almost 4 seconds, the curse was erased. It seems that ninjutsu can be exempted. However, this exemption takes a long time. It is about 4 seconds. If this is the case, you can't move too far at a time. Rough calculations, it is probably in it looks like 500 meters. Shunjian also said directly. Wait, haven't you noticed it? Your ninjutsu hasn't expired, and the curse seal is still there. At this moment, Madara on one side also said directly. Shubai was surprised when he heard what Madara said. You know, he knew that it hadn't disappeared because he saw the fallen Flying Thunder God art and the Jing Flying Thunder God art after being purified by this chakra jade. What? Come and see, here. Do you feel if your technique is still on top? Madara also walked to Chakryu, pointed to the place where the curse was imprinted on it, and said directly. After hearing Madara's words, I felt it carefully. Sure enough, there was a small curse mark on it. However, this is not his technique anymore, because he felt more powerful spatial fluctuations on it. In other words, his technique was strengthened by the jade in front of him. If it is such a level of technique, then we can try to see if we can transfer tens of thousands of meters at once. However, my chakra is not enough. Shuma also said directly. It's okay, for Chakrado. Now teach me the technique of Flying Thunder God. Then, you will release the technique of Flying Thunder God, and give it to me when the time comes. Shubai also stood up and said directly. This is not something that you can learn in a while. This is originally the variant space attribute of the wind attribute. I remember that Elder Zubai is not good at the wind attribute. Feijian said with pride. You know, although his strength is not Shu Baikyong, but in the development of ninjutsu, he has his own unique pride. You should know my nickname God of Ninjutsu. Although, on the other hand, this title should be given to you. However, in releasing ninjutsu, my talent can be said to be the strongest in the world. So, you don't worry. Shubai also said directly. After hearing what Shubai said, he didn't insist on it. He directly took out a scroll and handed it to Shubai. Although he didn't believe that Shubai could learn the technique of Flying Thunder God in a short time, it was not the time to argue. After Shubai got it, he also went aside to study. Fangjan, let's release 30 Thunder God's art first. Madara also said directly. How many? 30 thunder gods, now I can release 10 times a day at most. Moreover, I still don't transfer anything except myself. 30 times are too many, I can't do it. He said directly. Then 15 times. When your chakra is insufficient, I will supplement it for you. The pillars also said slowly. Well, I will try. After I finished speaking, I also walked to Chakryu and began to imprint the curse on it. And Shubai, also after several Jiayin, finally appeared on his panel with 10% progress in the technique of the Thunder God. It seems that his talent has become stronger, and his ability to learn ninjutsu has also become stronger. Shu Shen, Shubai also appeared immediately beside Feijian, and directly released the Flying Thunder God technique at Chakryu in front of him. After seeing Shubai's curse mark falling on it, the three of them were also petrified in an instant. Have you mastered this space ninjutsu in these few minutes? Even if the attributes are right, it's not so fast, right? You guy, it's a pervert. Madara couldn't help but explode when he saw this scene. What are you doing so surprised? The release this time is just a copy of Fei Lei Shen. It's not that you don't know my abilities, really. Shubai also looked at the three with a speechless expression. These three guys saw themselves releasing God of Thunder, plus what they said before. It is also a subjective belief that he has learned the art of flying Thunder God in a short period of time. However, it is true that I am not far from learning. How could it be possible? Madara also breathed a sigh of relief. So, while releasing the door, Shubai picked it up. Finally, on the side of this chakra jade, there are more than 40 curse seals, large and small. But compared with the entire jade, it is less than 1/3 of the range. Well, let's stop here today. Let's go up and rest first, and then come back tomorrow. Shubai also said directly. Well, it's useless to stay here now, Madara said directly. After everyone nodded, they also left here directly. At this time, in an underground cave far away. It has been confirmed. I have come to Taki no Kuni to see Madara, Zuma and Zubai. Moreover, I also found one. What else did you find? Before this person finished speaking, Shubai appeared in front of him and said slowly. After hearing Shubai's words, the man's voice stopped abruptly. Speak, I didn't choke your throat again. By the way, let me guess. Now the people who use insect skills should be the Shangshilyu clan and the Oily Girl clan. And the Shangshilyu clan I personally negotiated with them. And the aura on your body is not like them. In other words, you belong to the Oily Female clan, right? Shubai slowly speculated. Elder Zubai, okay, open your messenger. I have something to tell them. Shubai also interrupted the man's words directly, that is, at this moment, Madara and Zuma also appeared here. Seeing the three powerhouses all appeared, secret sweat oozes out of the man's face. Okay, I know. Soon, a bug the size of a thumb also appeared on the man's finger. Can I start talking? Sure, I know who you are, and now I won't say your identities. But there is one thing you have to remember. If you have such an idea, then you must have the corresponding consciousness. In the eyes of the three of us here, the village is above everything, even the family. If you don't want to cherish this hard-won peace, then we will bring disaster to you. By the way, in the face of absolute strength, even yours no matter how high the IQ is, it won't work. After Shubai finished speaking, the three of them disappeared instantly. It was Elder Shubai who just spoke. Yes, and Hokage and the Minister of Police are also here. The Oil Girl clan also said again. Okay, I see. I withdrew everyone. Now the matter has been exposed. It is estimated that there will be no chance in a short time. The other side of the communication bug also passed through a hoarse voice. At this time, the three of them also returned to the residence built between the pillars. Okay, it's basically determined now. It's between the pillars for you to go back, or one of us to go back. Shubai also said slowly. Let me go back. Let the two of you go back. If you have encountered some problems, you will probably be bloody. So do you, don't delay too long, come back quickly. After speaking between the pillars, they also left directly, went. Mara, you can go back too. Just leave it to me here. If there are really some people who can't get underneath the pillars, then we Uchiha's family will bear the darkness. After hearing Shu Bai's words, Madara disappeared. Seeing Zuma and Madara leave, Jian also knew what was going on. Elder Zubai, is this what happened? The door said slowly. Actually, this should be the job of your secret department. Now, let me worry about it. Minister Feijian, did you find anything unusual during your tenure? Shu Bai also asked directly. Actually, I found it, but in the current situation, can we say that we just do it directly? Jian said in a puzzled manner. If you don't do it, you need to make your own decision. Think about it, now you are the head of the dark side. In other words, the entire dark side of Konoha is in your control. If you feel that they exist, you can let if the village becomes better, and everyone has the concept of being prepared for danger, you can let it go first. If you think it has affected the peace of the village, then such things should be directly eliminated. Shu Bai also slowly said. After hearing Shu Bai's words, Feijian's face also showed a look of surprise. You know, although Shu Bai is the elder of the village. But this position has no real power at all. In addition, Shu Bai didn't seem to be interested in power, so he didn't cultivate his own power at all. In other words, these things were discovered by Shu Bai himself. You know, even he, as the minister of the Anbu, has spent countless manpower and material resources before finally grasping some evidence. Moreover, until now, he has not shot. But now, Shu Bai directly pointed out the drawbacks and focus of this. I see, Elder Zubai, Little Yi, let the teacher teach you ninjutsu. Just when he came back to his senses and wanted to ask something more, Shu Bai had already left with the little Yi beside him. Seeing this elder Shu Bai who smiled very brightly, Feijian's heart always felt a little frightened. I don't know if Konoha has such a person, whether it is good or bad. Soon, a week passed. At this time, the entire chakra jade was covered with curse marks. Moreover, now Shu Bai has also picked up a lot of Thunder God's art for storage. When you are on the road, you need to use this to transfer. Elder Jian, let's get started. Well, I got it. The two are also Jain together. The art of flying Thunder God. In the next moment, the three of them took chakra jade and disappeared directly in the territory of Taki no Kuni. Soon, a group of people on the road kept moving. It also quickly arrived at the border of the fire country. As long as it is here, Konoha's people have already responded. But after arriving here, Shu Bai found that in a large area, there was no chakra reaction at all. In other words, the ninjas who were supposed to be stationed here are gone. There are two possibilities. First, be killed. Second, they had to leave here because of something. Regardless of the reason, it is not a good thing for now. Minister Feijian, you immediately rushed back to the village to see what happened. I'll just do it myself. Shu Bai also said directly. After hearing Shu Bai's words, Jian quickly moved towards the village. Shu Bai stopped and looked behind him. It's really embarrassing for you. After following so long, can you come out? Shu Bai also said slowly. After hearing Shu Bai's words, three figures also appeared in front of Shu Bai. Ghost Dang Shui Wuyu clan. I said, this breath is very strange if there is no such thing. But I didn't expect it to be you. You appear here, representing the water country and the Misty Village, and our Konoha declare war. Shu Bai also said directly. I thought it was just something inside the village, but I didn't expect it. Now it seems to be a big deal. Really, peace is the seedling tray for conspirators. How long has it been before these people can't hold back? Seeing the three people appearing in front of him, Shu Bai was also a little surprised. It seems that these things that are happening now are no longer in his grasp. Now that even the spots and the pillars have not appeared, there should be some serious trouble. But in this world, who can cause trouble for two people, who can it be? Heiju. Suddenly, Shu Bai thought of a guy, that was Heiju, but that's not right. Didn't you use sealing technique to seal one of his bodies? How long is this? It is impossible to escape. Even if his other ontology came, he wouldn't be able to lift the seal without knowing it. Elder Zubai, I am the leader of the Shui Wuyu clan, and Shui Wueming. We are here this time only for revenge. The Hyuga clan killed our team leader and many elders, forcing us to follow the south fled to the water country. Now we are back, so we also want to be fair for what we did at the beginning. Shui Wueming said when Shu Bai didn't say anything, he said directly. I don't care about this matter. Your hatred has nothing to do with me. But now that Konoha you are going to attack has something to do with me. I think you also know me, even if the three of you are together it won't be my opponent. So, are you sure you still go on? Shubai's thoughts were interrupted by him, and he said with a dissatisfaction. But Elder Zubai, right now there is a child with no combat effectiveness behind you. If we do our best, even Elder Zubai will not be able to fight the three of us with one child, right? Shui Wueming also said again, we just want to take revenge, can it be said that this is also wrong? I just wanted to scare away a few people. But now after hearing Shui Wueming's words, Shubai's expression became even more terrifying. Since you say so, let's see what you have to do to hurt the people I protect by Uchiha's illusion. Sealing Technique Seal of the Four Elephants. Sealing Technique Seal of Heaven and Earth. After Shubai finished speaking, he directly used two sealing techniques to protect Xiao Yi. Little Yi, the master will go to beat the bad guys, you are going to be weird here. Shubai also said to Xiao Yi gently. Knowing the master, Xiao Yi will be obedient. After arranging the affairs of Xiao Yi, Shubai's face again showed a ruthless look. Shui Wueming, are there two other elders? It's impossible for you to choose to leave now. The technique of multiple shadow clones. After Shubai finished speaking, he directly released his own ninjutsu. Let's take a look, what is the god of ninjutsu in the teleportation? Shui Dun Dragon Wave. Mizuki also directly released ninjutsu. Originally, this place belonged to the southeast of the country of fire. The humidity in the air is also very high, and the power of water escape here is not small. In addition, Shui Wueming's strength was not low, and it quickly became a puddle, and the remaining two people also used the water to start the water escape again. Really, I was underestimated. Huo Dun Dragon and Dragon Killing, Lian Bomb. Countless Shubai began to seal, and instantly released a large number of fire dragons to kill. Wind Escape Song of Wind. With the blessing of Wind Song, the power of Huodun has become more powerful. After releasing these ninjutsu, Lugia also put away his clone. Because in his perception, these three guys have lost their breath. Little Yi, now I am arranging a clone to take you to a safe place. The teacher is going to beat the bad guys here, you have to be obedient. After Shubai finished speaking, he also left a clone. Yeah, teacher Xiao Yi, I will be obedient. Xiao Yi also nodded. After getting Xiao Yi's answer, Shubai also let his clone take Xiao Yi and leave directly. Just after Xiao Yi left, a powerful chakra appeared. Sure enough, I just said that I felt a strange breath. It turns out that this guy is here. Shubai also looked at the black creature that appeared in front of him, and said suddenly. Just after Shubai released ninjutsu, the breath of these three people disappeared. Although Shubai's ninjutsu caused a lot of damage, there was always a feeling of not hitting anyone. Elder Zubai, we still said that. We just want to find revenge for the Hyuga clan. For the Uchiha clan, we have no idea of being an enemy. I hope Elder Zubai can raise your noble hand and let us pass. Remember, the nobles were also sneak attacked by the Hyuga clan. Presumably, you can know how we feel. Shui Wueming also said directly. As the patriarch of the Shui Wuyu clan, he finally found such a good opportunity. But now the three of them are blocked here, so they are also very anxious. After all, even if they had secret weapons in their hands, they couldn't break Shubai's place in a short time. Okay, don't talk about other things for now. I still have a word, are you sure you want to attack Konoha? And I want to emphasize one thing to you, that is, the Hyuga clan now belongs to Konoha. And I am not the Uchiha clan as Konoha's great elder. By the way, even if you have shark muscle in your hands, it won't be my opponent. Shubai said again. This suddenly appeared as the shark muscle, which was the characteristic of the shark muscle before, and absorbed the chakras after their decomposition into his own body. Then add the water on the ground to decompose Shubai's ninjutsu power. Therefore, the three of them were safe and sound under Shubai's attack. Otherwise, it is estimated that the three of them are now in a pool of stagnant water. You actually know the shark muscle. Isn't this stuff Sanwei Isosuke's follower? Even if Mio is here now, I am not afraid at all. So, if you want to use Mio to deal with me, then give up. Also, now your strength, even if you add the strength of the three-tailed human column, it is estimated that it will not be the opponent of the Hyuga clan. I can let you go, but I want to know, who told you to attack Konoha this time? Shubai asked again. You, answer my words, otherwise, even if you belong to the Shui Wuyu clan, I have a way to get you to speak. Shubai said again. After hearing Shubai's words, the three of them were silent. You know, the illusions of the Uchiha clan are all very powerful. Since Shubai has increased his talent, he has also learned a lot of illusions. There are also many illusions of torture. We, group leader, we promised. It seems that you know it, this is easy. Shanshu. After Shubai finished speaking, he also released his immortal body in an instant. It was at this time that Shubai exuded terrifying energy. You know, now Shubai should be the only one who has both yin and yang escape. Moreover, after using the body of the immortal, if you use your original chakra to assist in the release of ninjutsu, it is yin and yang escape. Elder Zubai, Lin Ying from Linkyun in the Land of Water came to us. It's too late to say it now. I have to determine the authenticity of the matter by myself. After Shubai finished speaking, he also began to Jayin, Fire Escape Thousand Claw Dragon technique. This move was changed by Shubai based on Uchiha Itachi's Phoenix Claw technique, and the kunai in his hand and Feng Dun quickly rotated. And this trick is accompanied by the Shanshu chakra, so even if they have the ability to hydrate, it will have no effect, and they can still be attacked. Elder Zubai, what we said is true. It was Lin Ying from Linkyun who came to us and told us that Konoha has been attacked by the village, so let us seize the opportunity ourselves. Shui Wueming also said loudly. Roared. When facing Shubai's ninjutsu, he didn't even want to resist. Because he knew that no matter what he did, as long as Shubai wanted their lives, he couldn't hide it at all. After hearing Shui Wueming's words, Shubai was also a ninjutsu that released himself, instantly changing the direction and no longer locked the other three. Take it out, we haven't seen it for a long time. Shubai also slowly said after Shubai's Thousand Claw Dragon technique exploded 800 meters behind everyone. After hearing Shubai's words, Jifu also slowly emerged from the body of the person next to Zuli. Elder Zubai, I don't know if you were looking for me, what is it? Jifu also said slowly. You know, when they were in Konoha, they knew that Shubai was powerful. Although he was not captured by Shubai, he felt the same breath in Shubai's body as Zhu Jian. The last thing he wanted to face was Madara, Zuma and Shubai. So now after hearing Shubai's words, Jifu also appeared directly. It's nothing, but I want to know if you participated in this matter. Shubai also said slowly. I participated, but I think the things here are a bit strange, the aura on that guy's body is a bit strange. Jifu also said directly. After hearing Jifu's words, Shubai's face also showed satisfaction. People can deceive, but tail beasts generally don't deceive. Although they are very powerful, but at the same time they are also very simple. Strange, what's weird, Shubai said again. I have a request. Fight with me and don't use your annoying illusion. If you win, I will tell you. Jifu also said directly. After hearing Jifu's words, Shubai's face also showed a smile. He knew that after this guy was defeated by the pillars, he was still unconvinced in his heart. You know, Mudun is very restrained. In addition, when this guy was in Konoha, every time he saw Madara and himself, he would be entertained by illusions. Therefore, I also want to return it now. Yes, but, can this guy withstand your energy? Shubai also pointed to the person Zuli on one side, and said slowly. Yes, Shui Wuyu Jade is personally selected by me, and the match with me can reach more than 80%. Therefore, the combination of the two of us is beyond my original strength. Jifu also said again. After hearing Jifu's words, Shubai also closed his writing wheel. Come on, I also want to see how far is the gap between my abilities and the tail beast. Shubai also said slowly. You should know that after obtaining the Shanshu chakra, Shubai's chakra amount is very large. Even if it is compared to the tail beast, it is not too much. So now that Jifu made this request, Shubai would not refuse it. Just after Shubai finished speaking, Jifu also instantly returned to Shui Wuyu's body. The next moment a red chakra was instantly covered with Shui Wuyu's body. This is the tail beastization. However, This level of tail beastization does not have much effect on me. The technique of multiple shadow clones. Helix pill, Shu Bai said, releasing himself in an instant. The clones, and then all condense the spiral pill. He is not like Naruto, he needs to be assisted by his clone to release Helix pill. But after feeling the change of Feng Dun's attributes, you can release it with one hand. In addition, this is a ninjutsu that doesn't require Jayin, and in the next moment, Shu Bai also rushed directly to Jifu. Water escaped the art of Big Water Dragon Bomb. At this moment, Jifu also showed his powerful strength as a tail beast. Just now, Shu Bai's Fire Dragon technique was used to dry the place, but under such circumstances, Jifu cooperated with Ren Zuli to release the S-level water escape. Interesting, but it's just half-tailed beastization, not my opponent. Fire escape dust and fire. After Shu Bai finished speaking, he also released another ninjutsu. The water that had just been released, also in the next moment, directly emitted white smoke. When the fog rose, Shu Bai also sealed again. Water escape rain attack. Jifu, aren't you good at water escape? Come, let me give you some water. After Shu Bai finished speaking, the hot water needles quickly attacked Jifu. In addition, there is dust from the fire extinguishing the dust, and the destructive power has doubled. Boom boom boom. As the rain fell, more smoke and dust also rose. At this time, Shui Wueming and Shui Wuyuyu on one side were also watching the battle from far away. Originally, they wanted to take the opportunity to leave here, and then take the shark muscle directly to Konoha. But when Shu Bai and Jifu were fighting, 10 more clones came to them. It seems that if they act rashly, these clones will definitely attack directly. Moreover, they also discovered a desperate thing, that is, they seem to be unable to beat Shu Bai's clone. Jade, did you just see it? In just a few short strokes, Elder Zubai used the 4 types of ninjutsu with the 4 attributes of wind, fire, earth and water, and there should be thunder attributes. You know, the Uchiha clan, the skill of housekeeping is thunderfire ninjutsu. It is true that it is the god of ninjutsu. No trick is wasted. Moreover, with a few A-level ninjutsu superimposed, it can almost surpass the S-level ninjutsu. Mizuki Ming also exclaimed. Well, when I think that the enemy we were going to face was so powerful, I still tremble in a little bit. Leader, I remember that when we left the land of fire, we were all children. The former elder. Having said that, let us not take revenge, it seems to make sense. We, Lin Ying. At this moment, a man with a cloak also appeared here. Shui Dun Sky Attack. After the man appeared, he also instantly cast an S-rank ninjutsu. The avatars of Mizuki and Mizutsu were originally monitored here, but they were also destroyed in an instant. You guys, it's not bad. Lin Ying just finished saying this, and took Chakryu, who was originally guarded by the clone, and left. Shu Bai, who was fighting with Jifu here, also felt Chakryu's movement. Isofu, I think you already know the strength gap between us. If you continue to fight, don't blame my subordinates for being merciless. Ang. Originally Shu Bai was going to give up the fight with Jifu, but at this moment, Jifu Tian roared. And looking at his eyes, it should have been frenzied. In addition, just to withstand Shu Bai's attack, he has completely turned into a beast. Seeing this scene, Shu Bai also had a headache. Now Chakryu has been robbed, Jifu has gone violently again. Really, these tailed beasts go violently at every turn, and I don't know why they are so irritable in their hearts. I won't play with you, let's fight again when we meet next time. Sealing technique. The next moment, Shu Bai directly used his own sealing technique to seal Jifu. Then turned around and looked at where Shui Wueming and the others were, an instantaneous spell appeared in front of them. I think you shouldn't go to Konoha anymore, right? If I heard the news that your tribe appeared in Konoha after I came back, I will chase you down personally. After Shu Bai finished speaking, he also took there was a kunai, and then it just disappeared. After seeing Shu Bai disappear, the two also came to Jifu. Patriarch, what shall we do now? Wait. After half an hour is written on the ground, Isofu's seal will be lifted. Moreover, the ability of tail beastization will also be lifted at that time. Let's go back. I don't want the remaining tribe to die in this place. Conspiracy. Shui Wueming also made a decision. At this time, the ground was scorched with thunder dune in front of them, and they wrote the words to lift the seal after half an hour. Seeing such a powerful chakra control ability, Shui Wueming didn't even want to continue doing it. At this time, Lin Ying also stopped his steps, because he saw Shu Bai, who suddenly appeared in front of him. I see, what is the strange thing, Jifu said. You guy is dead. No wonder, Jifu would say that you have a strange aura. Is anyone operating behind? Shu Bai also said directly. Giggle. At this moment, a strange sound came from Lin Ying's body. Moreover, when this voice came out, Shu Bai also felt that the aura on the opponent's body continued to grow stronger. It seems that you can no longer speak for yourself now. The people behind should give up too, right? Uchiha is not white, right? I remember your name this time. This is just the beginning. Next time, I won't be so lucky. By the way, I am still interested in this glass ball. Help me keep it, I will come and fetch it at any time. Just as Shu Bai was about to fight, a familiar voice came from Lin Ying's mouth. Beidou. Shu Bai frowned when he heard this voice. You know, the last thing Shu Bai wants now is to be an enemy of this guy. Leaving aside their information, Shu Bai didn't know at all, and a Beidou was already a headache. Moreover, it seems that there is more than one of them. It should be a force. If there is such an existence, it is estimated that even the Akatsuki organization in the future will not be so powerful. It seems that you still remember me, but the next time you see me again, it will be time to erase your existence. Although I want to come to you now, the village is somewhat emotional. Finally, I will give you a gift, Shui Dun Shentang. Just after Lin Ying said these words, the whole person's body quickly collapsed. In the next moment, a pond with shower shadow as the center began to spread rapidly towards Shu Bai. It's really troublesome guy, Flying Thunder God. Shu Bai directly activated Flying Thunder God, wanting to transfer Chakryu out. But at this moment, Shu Bai realized that his Flying Thunder God had no way to remove Chakryu. Although there is still a certain connection, Shu Bai can feel the attraction from this Shentang, and even space ninjutsu can affect it. Flying Thunder God's art with bullets. Shu Bai couldn't manage that much at this time, and there were still a few seconds before this Shentang would reach Shu Bai's position. The most important thing is that this Shentang is like a swamp, still devouring chakra jade. After using the Flying Thunder God continuously, Chakryu also disappeared there. At the same time, Shu Bai also disappeared. The next moment, when Shu Bai appeared, he was already far away. And here, it should be the mark left by the door when he went back. After feeling it, Shu Bai is still about a few kilometers away from Konoha. At Shu Bai's current speed, it would take about 10 minutes to reach Konoha. Flying God. In the next moment, Shu Bai also directly continued to release this ninjutsu. 10 minutes later, Shu Bai also saw Konoha's city wall. At this time, the city wall had disappeared, and countless traces of Huodun and Leidun were floating chattering smoke. Looking at Konoha in front of him, Shu Bai also felt a burst of anger in his heart. You know, this place is like his own child. For Shu Bai, who participated in Konoha's construction, the actions of these people were simply beating his own children. As soon as he thought of this, Shu Bai's riding wheel was also released in an instant. Elder Zubai. At this moment, a person from Anbu appeared in front of Shu Bai. What's the situation now, Madara, Zujian and Feijian? Shu Bai also asked directly. Naruto and the director of police are now fighting those guys in the village. It was about to end, but your wife hijacked Uzumaki Mito, Uchiha Kena, and Uchiha Harakoto. This led to the director of police and Hokage. Adults are all innocent clones. As for Minister Feijian, he took the elites from the village and took office, fighting against the rebels. This member of the Anbi also said directly. When he heard this, Shu Bai was stunned. At this moment, the members of the Anbu who originally wore the masks, the kunai in their hands instantly attacked Shu Bai. Boom! The next moment, Shu Bai, who was standing there, turned into a cloud of smoke. You are still a little tender. Although what you said should be true, the hiding of murderous intent is simply a waste. At this time, Shu Bai also appeared behind the man and ended his life with a single blow. No matter what this guy is thinking, since he has chosen to betray, he must have the consciousness to meet the consequences. After saying this, Shu Bai also directly disappeared here. The only place he wants to go now is where Minako is. If Minako really hijacked them, Shubai really didn't know what he would do. Directly kill according to your own philosophy. No, Shubai can't do it. Minako, give me a reason. A minute later, Shubai also appeared where Madara and the others were, and said directly. Zubai, you guy is finally back. Tell me, what's the matter? Madara also roared loudly. You know, his feelings for Shubai are like his own brother. Now that something like this has happened, he needs Shubai to give him a positive answer and confidence. I don't know about this at all. I just met a rebellious Anbu member in front of the door and learned about it. Shubai also said slowly, but his eyes were always on Minako's body. Minako, tell me why. Husband, because of the family. Minako also said weakly with tears on her face. Family, are you talking about the Ozawa clan? Even for the family, what can your current actions bring to your clan? Shubai asked again. He and Minako have been together for 7 years. In these 7 years, Shubai never regarded Minako as an outsider, even though she was unmarried. But it has always been respectful. Moreover, Minako's gentleness and virtuousness were also seen by Shubai. Now that something like this has happened, Shubai really doesn't want to believe it. This is what Minako did. They can break the curse of our family and let our family have males. I have no choice, and this is the only way for our family to continue on its own, not as a parasite to others. Uchiha is white, I know you, it is true to me, but I have always used you. Now I have gained your power, and the time has come. So stupid. Before Minako finished speaking, Shubai shouted directly. I don't know how many clans your family has put in their eyeliners and spies. But your family just treats you as chess pieces, or the kind of chess pieces that can be thrown away at any time. Tell me what the family gave you, what did I give you? Such a family, is it really necessary for you to give back? Shubai roared again. After hearing Shubai's words, Minako's body also trembled. She knows what Shubai has always been towards him. But now that she has done such a thing, there is no way to look back. Thank you Shubai, but I can't go back now. I hope that if there is an afterlife, I can continue to be your wife. You all stay here and can't move, otherwise I will kill all 3 sisters. Minako also say it again. After hearing what Minako said, Shubai was really speechless. It seems that the Ozawa clan is not like what he understands. Moreover, now Minako can do this for the Ozawa family. Do this when she can still feel her love for herself, that is to say, Minako's identity should not be an ordinary tribe. Minako, can you tell me what is the relationship between you and Maria Ozawa? Shubai also asked directly. She is my mother. Minako also said slowly. After hearing Minako's words, Shubai's face also showed a look of surprise. Unexpectedly, the princess of the Ozawa clan was the princess that I brought back. In other words, when they wanted to execute Minako, it was just to show them to themselves. But how do they know that they will burst into the heart of the virgin? I see. Minako, I remember your ability is mine, that is, if I die. Your ability will disappear, right? Shubai said, also lifting the pain in his hands. No, I inserted it directly into my heart. No, Shubai, no. Seeing this scene, Minako also directly gave up the hostage in her hands and instantly appeared next to Shubai. Sure enough, you love me. Bang. After Shubai said these words, he immediately turned into a scarecrow and disappeared. This is the double scarecrow obtained by Shubai before, and this thing can be used twice. Once during a battle with Zu, Shubai really couldn't escape in the end, so he also used this. This time, to try Minako's sincerity, Shubai used this again. Seeing the scarecrow in her hand, Minako's face also shed tears again. I said, you can go back to the previous one. Illusory magic mind washing. At this moment, Shubai also appeared in front of Minako instantly, and directly opened his own writing wheel. At this time, Shubai's right eye was already a kaleidoscope. Just now, when he knew that he had been betrayed by the most important person, Shubai's writing wheel had also evolved. It's just that now I know that Minako is in love with him, so I just opened his right eye. And this ninjutsu is the ninjutsu in Shubai's right eye, illusion, washing the heart. This ninjutsu can directly alter a person's memory. As long as he was hit by this technique, his memory would become Shubai's blank paper, writing as he pleased. When Shubai knew this ability, he was surprised to find that this ninjutsu was almost a fight against other gods. The most important thing is that this ninjutsu only needs enough pupil power to release it. Unlike other gods, it takes a long time to release once. Misaka, Shima, the matter here has been resolved, can I ask you something? Shubai said with a pleading expression on his face while holding the fainted Minako after Shubai's technique was applied. We know, the people here are all from Onbi, and I will explain them. But from now on, you don't want to participate in this matter. I can handle it with Zuma. Madara also said directly. After hearing Madara's words, Shubai also bowed, and then entered his room with Minako in his arms. When Madara and Zuma saw this, they both shook their heads and left directly. At this time, they still have their own things to do, and there is no time to stay to comfort Shubai for the time being. Soon, Madara and Zuma relied on their own strength to suppress all the rebellion and invasion. And the guys who were in the lead were also controlled. Elder Zubai, Hokage-sama wants you to go to Konoha Square for a meeting. While Shubai quietly looked at Minako lying on the bed, the voice of an Onbi member also rang outside the door. I know, I will go over immediately. Flying Thunder God. After Shubai finished speaking, he also directly activated the Flying Thunder God technique and disappeared in the room. The chakra jade he brought back was sealed here with Minako. After Shubai left, Uchiha Luyan and Uchiha Natsumi also came to the door of Shubai's room. This was what Shubai told them before. As long as he went out, the two of them would help guard his house. After all, the two brothers Shubai trusts most now. Shubai, who used Flying Thunder God, also quickly appeared on the square. His technique was applied to Madara, so he also appeared directly behind Madara. Mabra, what's the matter? Zubai, this time we may have some headaches. After all, this is not an invasion from outside. If that is the case, it would be nice to kill all of them. But this time, it was a battle caused by our own people in our village. Madara is also one speaking with embarrassment. If it is to replace the previous spot, perhaps this time it is directly ordered to be executed. But the current Madara is not like the previous Madara. The darkness in his heart has been dispersed most by Shubaihe and Zujian. Therefore, now he is also a Hokage who will consider others. What did Zujian say? Also, who are the families involved this time? Shubai asked again. Jamma said, this matter will be handled by me. No matter what decision I make, he will support it. And this time the family involved in this matter involves several big clans like Shimura, Sarutobi, Nara, and some small families. Madara said directly. After hearing Ma's words, Shubai's face was also suspicious. The rebellion of these families should have been premeditated for a long time. As for Beidou, it should have taken advantage of their point and the weakness of the Ozawa clan. Then took the opportunity to destroy Konoha in one fell swoop. In this case, no matter how powerful the three of Shubai and the others are, it is only the fighting power of a single person. Don't talk about cultivating the next generation, just want to cut them off. Moreover, based on Shubai's understanding of Beidou, if this guy really achieves his goals, it is estimated that these families will either be controlled or slaughtered. But now, so many families have committed crimes. If all were severely punished, it is estimated that the strength of the village would be greatly weakened in an instant. But if it is not punished, something like this might happen again in the future. Nara Haruyu, I want to know why you guys did this. Could it be that Hokage and I did something that made everyone so dissatisfied? Shubai thought for a while and asked these guys first. Let's talk about why there is such an idea. Uchiha is vain. I know that your intelligence is unparalleled, and you always know things like a god. Then, guess now, why did we do this? Haru Nara also said with a smile. Why do you do this? I know. But I want to know, in what way did you make other people be your sword like an idiot? Shubai asked again. In fact, Shubai had discovered this before, because he knew some plots, so many times, some of Shubai's words would give people a feeling of incomparable intelligence. In fact, to put it bluntly, it means that Shubai has read the script. As for Nara Haru's actions, it is easy to understand, it is pure jealousy. Coupled with the presence of Shubai, their clan will never have a real day of their lives. Therefore, this guy would do such a thing. After all, the last thing a genius can't allow is to have someone more genius around him. I was only the first to make such a suggestion. Why did they agree? I don't know. Haruyu Nara also said directly. Seeing this guy's appearance, Shubai could still tell that he shouldn't lie. And now that we have reached such a field, there is no need to lie. So why did other families make such a move? Let me tell you. Actually, when we joined Konoha, we weren't voluntary. We were forced by you to join here. For me, it was simply unbearable. At this time, Autumn said this. The fat man also stood up and said directly. After hearing what he said, Shubai was also silent. After the fat man of the Chu Taoist school had spoken, the others also nodded, indicating that they thought the same way. I see. You think Konoha has treated you badly, right? So, immediately summon all the clansmen of these families to come here. Shubai also said slowly. After hearing Shubai's words, the people in Anbu were also directly dispatched. You know, Shubai is Konoha's great elder. In terms of status, it is only second to Hokage. Although he has no real power in his hands, his privilege is to mobilize all Konoha's guards. Therefore, even if it is from Anbu, Shubai can also arrange it. After hearing Shubai's words, Madara was still unclear. Because for Madara, let him manage a family of his own, he can completely be a good patriarch. But when faced with a village and hundreds of families, Madara was still a little weak. Shubai, what do they tell their people to come here for? Although they committed crimes as the patriarch, many of their people don't know about it. Even when these guys act, they wear the mask of Anbu. Didn't let those people know. Could it be that you want to kill 100? But if you do this, it will chill the hearts of other families, right? Madara also said slowly. After hearing Ma's words, Shubai also smiled slightly. He knew that the current spotted spot could never become the spotted spot in the original work. Because in Madara's heart, there is already a heart of love. I don't want to deal with their clansmen, I just want these guys to know that the meaning of family in their mouths is just a joke. Shubai also said directly. After hearing Shubai's words, although Madara was still a little confused. But he already knew one thing, that is, Shubai didn't want to punish the same crime. Soon, people from these families also gathered here. Don't worry, and don't panic. Presumably, you also know what happened to Konoha. Now, our medical team is doing its best to rescue the injured ninja. As for those who have died, there are special people in charge. Originally, these things shouldn't be said now. But now I have to say. I have a question to ask you all. Your patriarch said that we Konoha have treated you badly. Now, I think it's in the same village. For good reason, as long as everyone wants to leave Konoha with their patriarch, stand behind your patriarch. Those who want to stay as Konoha's people, all walk to the center of the square. Said directly. After hearing Shubai's words, the people who came over hesitated. They know what happened, but now let them make such a decision, everyone is at a loss. Relax, if you choose to leave, I won't embarrass you. I won't hurt you either. I will arrange for the people from Anbu to send you to your respective locations. Shubai also said again. After Shubai finished saying this, some people started to act. They are all activists, and they didn't like this environment very much. In their eyes, ninjas were born to fight. But except for the people who stood directly at the beginning, most people also moved to the center of the square. After the first one, there will soon be a second one. In the end, 80% of the people chose to stay. Seeing this scene, Shubai also nodded in satisfaction. In the original work, when Madara leaves Konoha, no one wants to follow Madara. Such a strong man like Madara is like this, let alone these families, their clansmen prefer such a peaceful life. Okay, all that are going to leave now, let's leave. Starting today, you are Konoha's rebels. We will issue an order to kill you, but this will be a month later. Because you made it, we need to wash away the sins. After Shubai finished speaking, he also disappeared directly. They will not be given any opportunity to oppose and regret at all. After hearing what Shubai said, Madara knew what Shubai wanted to do. This approach should be the best. Although there will be hatred left behind, it is already suppressed to a minimum. Master Naruto, we were wrong, Needless to say, we have no choice to execute on the spot. It's already a gracious act outside the law. Let's all leave. I hope we won't meet again in this life. After Ban said this, he also disappeared directly. After watching Shubai and Ban leave, the clansmen who stayed also looked at these people who were originally from their own clans. After today, they are no longer their own people, but enemies. There are brothers and elder brothers in it. But they still do not regret the choice they made, and everyone has to bear a certain price for their choice. And all they have to endure is the pressure in their hearts. However, there are some people here who want to stay as an internal response. I am waiting for my family to come back again when it becomes stronger one day. No matter what kind of mentality these people have stayed with, now they have left with a sad expression on their faces. As for Harunara and the others, they also left directly. After all, it doesn't make any sense to continue to stay now. Madaka, have you taken care of it? Looking at Madara with emotion, Zujian asked directly. The guy Zubai dealt with it very well, but I still don't feel like it. Did we really do something wrong? Why do these families have such thoughts? Madara said in confusion. It's not that we did something wrong, this is the human heart. I heard something from Shubai before, and I still remember it's still fresh. That is, peace is the holy land that nourishes the conspirators. The pillars also said slowly. At this time, Shubai had already returned to his home. Fat, eldest brother, you two are also true. Isn't it just for you to help me watch for a while, can I still fall asleep? After Shubai returned to his residence, he found that both Uchiha Natsumi and Uchiha Luyan were leaning against the wall with their eyes closed. So, I also joked directly. But after hearing Shubai's words, the two had no reaction at all. Fat, brother, don't pretend you too. At this time, Shubai had a very bad premonition in his heart. However, Shubai still said with a smile on his face. Cough 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 cough, are you finally back? At this moment, a familiar voice came from Uchiha Natsumi's mouth, that is Hokuto. And Uchiha Natsumi is like the shower before, has been killed and controlled by this guy. Fatty, big brother. Shubai knelt on the ground instantly after hearing this voice. Because he knew that both of them were dead now. Ah, Fatty, big brother. After a brief silence, Shubai also looked up to the sky and screamed. At this time, Madara and Zujian on the Hokage cliff also heard this sound, and quickly came to Shubai's position. When they came to see the scene here, they also knew why Shubai was like this. Zubai, you, don't comfort me, I have comforted me many times in my heart just now. But Fatty and Big Brother are still dead. You know what, they are dead. Shubai raised his head, a pair of kaleidoscope riding wheels. He stared straight at Madara and between the pillars. Seeing Shubai's changes, Madara was also speechless. Because he knows, he understands what is needed to open the kaleidoscope to right the wheel. Shubai, I just want to tell you one thing, I took it away. Beto's voice came again. After the words fell, Uchiha Natsumi and Uchiha Luyan also fell directly. Found high-level items that can be picked up, may I ask? At this time, can you shut up first? Without waiting for the system prompt to continue speaking, Shubai also roared. Feeling Shubai's grief, the system was also silent. And Shubai's roar made the pillars who originally wanted to say something to close his slightly opened mouth. And Shubai just like this, slowly walked towards Uchiha Natsumi and Uchiha Luyan. Big brother, Fat, I swear by Shubai that I will use your eyes to look at my enemies. Shubai said, also removing one of the two riding wheels and placing it in his own eyes, on. Soon, due to the particularity of the kaleidoscope riding wheel eye, this pair of eyes was also directly absorbed. After doing this, Shubai also put the bodies of the two directly into his personal space. Feng Dun flower dance cut. After Shubai put the bodies of the two of them into his own portable space, he also used Feng Dun to instantly turn the room in front of him into debris. At this time, Minako and Chakra Yu, who were supposed to be in the seal, disappeared. Originally Uchiha Natsumi and Uchiha Luyan should be with others to clean up the dead villagers, but it was because of Shubai's words that the two came here. Sorry, Fat, sorry, brother, sorry, Minako. Thinking of this, Shubai also sat down on the ground, murmured sadly. The host, fused two kinds of riding wheel eyes, opened the double beard and Zonengu. At this moment, the system still couldn't help but say. But at this time, Shubai was not happy at all because of the powerful ability. Because of this ability, it was exchanged for the lives of his eldest brother and third brother. At the same time, his own wife also disappeared. You know, what Shubai values most is his family, but in just one day, he has lost the three most important people in a row. Shubai, don't bother him, let's go. Madara interrupted the words between the pillars and pulled him straight away. Because he can understand Shubai's feelings now, he made such a decision. In this way, the time soon arrived at night. At this time, Shubai was still sitting in front of the room that had disappeared. The host still has 13 times to pick up. It is useless, please use it as soon as possible. At this moment, Shubai's ear heard the voice of the system again. Before changing, Shubai must be very anxious to look for Madara or between the pillars, forcibly asking them to release ninjutsu. Even if they were not released, Shubai would take the initiative to fight and force them to release. But at this time, Shubai's mind was all the scenes of getting along with Uchiha Natsumi and Uchiha Luyan. As for what system, go to hell. The host still has 13 times. The system prompt sounded over and over again, until there was 1 minute left. Detected that the willpower of the system has dissipated, and the friendship reminds me that there will be resurrection items in the continuous check-in package. At this time, the system was also the first emotional reminder. After hearing these words, Shubai's hollow eyes also showed a hint of brilliance. In the next moment, Shubai also disappeared here. Mara, you guys quickly release ninjutsu. At this time, Shubai also used Flying Thunder to locate the spot directly. After appearing on the Hokage cliff and seeing both of them here, he said directly. After hearing Shubai's words, the two of them also showed smiles, and they immediately began to release ninjutsu. In the end, Shubai completed today's picking up when there was 1 second left. After doing this, his body and spirit couldn't hold it anymore, and he fell straight down. The next night, Shubai, who was originally drowsy, came to Madara and Zuma regularly and asked them to release ninjutsu. After picking it up, Shubai still fainted gorgeously. This situation continued for a week. The 8th day after the village chaos. This is my headache. After Shubai woke up, he found that his head was extremely painful. After clicking on his panel, Shubai also knew why he had a headache. During the 8 days when he fainted, he had picked up more than 200 ninjutsu above S rank. In addition, he would be woken up by the system's sound every time, and then he went to find the spots and the pillars. This has also caused Shubai's mental energy consumption to be a little bit larger, so now he wakes up to have a headache. Little Bai, are you awake? At this moment, Uchiha Kuna, who fell asleep on his stomach, was also instantly awakened by Shubai's voice, and said happily, Sister, I'm awake. Why are you here? Shouldn't you be in Madara? Shubai looked at Uchiha Kuna in front of him, and said in confusion. This is Madara's residence. I heard Madara said that you destroyed the residence with your own hands, so he won't rebuild it for you until you wake up. Because he doesn't know why you did this, so lets you live here. On the one hand, it is convenient for me to take care of you, and on the other hand, it can best protect your safety. Uchiha Kuna also said slowly. After hearing his sister's words, Shubai also plunged directly into Uchiha Kuna's arms. Although he was in a coma for 8 days, Shubai still did not let go of the deaths of Natsumi and Luyan. Coupled with hearing Uchiha's caring words, Shubai couldn't help but want to find someone to vent. As time passed slowly, Shubai also raised his head. Sister, I'm sorry, you got your clothes dirty. Shubai also said directly after finishing his emotions. It's okay, in my eyes, no matter how powerful Shubai you are, you will always be my brother. You cried in my arms quite a bit, and I am used to doing laundry. Uchiha Kuna also said slowly. After hearing Uchiha Kuna's words, Shubai's face also showed an awkward look. Okay, you haven't eaten for so many days. My sister is going to prepare some food for you and wait for me. By the way, I will tell Madara about this first, presumably he knows that you will wake up. Very happy, Uchiha Kuna said, and left the room directly. Although Uchiha Kuna looked very sunny and happy, Shubai knew that her sister was very tired during this time. Because when Uchiha Kuna stood up just now, his footsteps were a little vain. Shubai, you fellow, finally willing to wake up. Soon, Madara appeared in Shubai's room and said with a happy face. Well, I woke up. Shubai also nodded, indicating that he was awake. What kind of reaction is this? Let's go and have a drink with me. Madara also stretched out his hand and directly pulled Shubai up, ready to go out. Second sister. Shu Qin, hungry, this is me, My husband is naughty again. Xiaobai is not suitable for drinking now. Let him rest. My sister is already ready to eat. If the husband wants to stay and eat together, I will ask my sister to get someone else. Uchiha Zukin also said slowly. After hearing Uchiha's words, Madara swallowed. I see. After saying this, Madara disappeared instantly. Seeing that the spots disappeared, Shubai's face also showed a look of doubt. What is going on here? Could it be said that after a few days of sleep, Madara became a tracheitis? Second sister, it's okay, your brother-in-law is so mindless. By the way, Xiaobai, your body is all right? Shu Qin asked with concern. Yeah, it's all right. Shubai said slowly. After Z had eaten the meal prepared by Shunai, Shubai also left here and came to his place of residence. After coming here, Shubai looked at the blood stains on the ground and the houses destroyed by him, plus the sealing technique that was still working. Shubai's face also showed an uncomfortable look. Until now, Shubai still couldn't forgive himself. If it wasn't because I let the two of them come here to guard, now the two of them should accept the award from the whole village together with themselves. Even if Chakra Yu is gone, Shubai is not so uncomfortable. But thinking about so much now has no effect, because he has only one purpose now, and that is to keep picking up and picking up. After I have issued the resurrection props, maybe this mood will be completely let go. Elder Shubai, this is something that Master Naruto asked me to give you. At this moment, an Anbu member appeared behind Shubai and said slowly. I see, give it to me. Shubai stretched out his hand to take the paper in his hand and slowly opened it. Beidou information, there are currently 2 known personnel, one is Beidou and the other is Qingshan. Whether there are other members is unknown. Beidou is currently in Taki no Kuni. After reading the above information, Shubai also disappeared instantly. Go, it's your death date when you get there. Under the mask of this dark part, Fakult also uttered a dark voice. By the way, I forgot to tell you one thing. The breath on your body is really stinky. I really have time to wash myself and my dog more often. Shubai, who had already left, also appeared again. In front of this person, a kunai attack hit him in an instant. Teeth through teeth. The man instantly removed his own area and turned into 2 big drills, quickly learning Shubai. Spiral Pill, Flying Thunder God. The next moment, Shubai also appeared directly in front of the man, and a spiral pill was directly sacrificed. Moreover, in order to ensure that the opponent can lose combat effectiveness, Shubai added Shanshu Chakra to this spiral pill. Boom! The next moment, 1 person and 1 dog fell to the ground. In front of Shubai, he was defeated before he could even make a move. Shubai, what happened? At this moment, Zhu Jian, Madara, and Fei Jian appeared in front of Shubai in an instant, and said slowly. Let's see for yourself, Shubai said, and also handed the letter in his hand to Maiden. After reading the above content, all 3 of them frowned. The information above obviously did not pass through Madara's hand. Shubai is obviously a trap, I know it is a trap, but the position I perceive is also in Taki no Kuni. That is to say, whether it is him or they are in Taki no Kuni, I will go, Shubai also said firmly. Me and you, the 3 of you will stay in the village. Such a big thing has just happened. If you leave with me again, maybe these guys will come back unwillingly to perform the previous scene again. You know that between the pillars. The guy is powerful, but there are many people and there are few people. It makes no difference. Don't worry, I'm very sorry. As long as I find something wrong, I will leave immediately. On the way, I will leave the mark of Flying Thunder God. After Shubai finished speaking, he disappeared again. Although they wanted to stop Shubai, their speed was not as fast as Lei Shen. Even in the interim, there is no way to catch up with Shubai. You know, the chakra gap between him and Shubai is simply the difference between clouds and mud. Now, first dismiss all those members of the rebellious family. Then, let them come to our Uchiha clan to receive illusion torture. If they don't come, they will all be killed, 1-inch Madara also slowly said. After hearing Madara's words, Zhu Jian also shook his head. The last thing he didn't want to happen happened after all. The Uchiha clan has already been stimulated to a Shubai. If the pillars now go against Madara and stimulate him, I really don't know what will happen. Therefore, there was no word between the pillars, but just took the door to carry out what Madara had just said. Originally, Shubai had been to Taki no country before, so at this time, Shubai was also following the mark of the road and moving forward quickly. In addition, Shubai's own chakra capacity is super large. When he was practicing in the wet bone forest, Shubai had been increasing his chakra capacity. At this moment, Shubai saw an acquaintance. "This guy, how come here?" Shubai said in confusion as he looked at the man in front of him. "Oh, I've been waiting for you for a long time. Really, I came here so late, I have been waiting for 6 days." The man also said directly after seeing Shubai. "Fei Duan, really, could it be said that you have taken some bounty mission and want to kill me?" Shubai said with a look of confusion. "As expected to be the god of ninjutsu, I knew my purpose so quickly. Also, I don't remember that I was in contact with you, so why did you recognize me all at once?" Hida said while waving. He attacked Shubai with the sickle in his hand. "You guy, you can't even beat the Sha-Ren in our village, and you want to come and fight me?" After Shubai finished speaking, the immortal mode imprint appeared on his body instantly. Then, in the next moment, Fei Duan will be a tragedy. Originally, Shubai was holding back the fire, but because he wanted to keep that guy alive, he didn't directly kill him, but at this time, he encountered an unkillable flying section, which was the best sandbag. Not only can you not die, but you can also vent your emotions. For Shubai now, this guy is simply the pillow he sent when he was dozing off. 10 minutes later, even the unkillable Fei Duan was punched into a pig's head by Shubai, and his side was thrown aside by Shubai. The current Fei Duan has become the human sandbag in Shubai's hands. "Shubai, won't you be tired? Why don't we take a break, you let me rest." Fei Duan lay on the ground. Although he won't die, he can still feel the pain. Being attacked by Shubai like sandbags, even he couldn't stand it. "That's it, it's okay. But you have to tell me who gave you the task." Shubai also put away his hand and said slowly. "Did you know that there is an unwritten rule in our killer world? That is, no matter whether the mission fails or succeeds, the employer's information must not be disclosed. Even if it is, close the door, open." Shubai also opened his own door directly after hearing the words of Fei Duan. After seeing Shubai's breath rising again, Fei Duan also swallowed. "That one, I know your rules, so I don't want to know who hired you. Now, you are just a sandbag for me." After Shubai finished speaking, he started again. It was another half an hour later. At this time the Fei segment had no strength to speak. Now he just wants to faint, although he can't do it. "Well, it doesn't make sense to hit you again depending on your appearance." So, when I heard this, Fei Duan's heart finally let go. This guy is simply a BT. Such a high-intensity attack lasted for half an hour. I had known that this guy was so powerful, no matter how high the bounty was, Fei Duan wouldn't bother him. "So, I'm going to take you with you. After you recover a little bit, I will continue to beat you." After Shubai finished speaking, he also directly branded Fei Lei Shen's mark on Fei Duan's body, and then took it with him. This guy made his way to Taki no Kuni quickly. After hearing Shubai's words, Fei Duan had already given up resistance. Because he knows that resistance is ineffective. Although Fei Duan didn't say who hired him, Shubai knew about it. After all, the only person who can make Fei Duan wait for him here is the Beidou guy. Moreover, this guy just wants to go to Taki no Kuni with his Hidan. Although I don't know why, Shubai always feels that the goal of these guys is related to the guy Fei Duan. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.